Make sure to subscribe to Apillow on YouTube. Very cool content creator.
Okay. Hey guys, do you remember Foreign Man in a Foreign Land? The YouTuber with the interesting editing practices who made a hit piece on people like Vosh a couple of months ago, where he changed the thumbnail and the title of the video multiple times, just multiple ways of getting views on his channel, eyes on the stuff that he produces. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Foreign Man with a Foreign Land is here once again to grace us with one of his videos, and we will be reacting to it as a stream, this time though with a little bit of video game. I will be playing Dishonored 2 while we watch it, so let's see the video. But before we get into it though, Foreign Man is a bit of a coward. You see, originally the video had the title of, and you can see this is in my server, link down below if you want to be a bedhead, and the viewer suggestions. I do take viewer suggestions. This is the reason why I'm reacting to this. This is a viewer suggestion from Naomi Chance. The video, when it was originally posted in my server 3 days ago, was called Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, the blankification of white men. I'm not going to say that word. So yeah, that's what it was originally called. This was the original video title, but if I were to click on this video, say, like here, uh-oh, why is it coming up like that? Oh, it's because of what I did earlier with it. It is now called These Fetishes Are Hate Crimes, and it has a completely different view because Foreign Man is a complete coward. So we will be reacting to this. The lighting is on because I've been staring at a bright light for the past few hours, and we will be playing some Dishonored 2 while we watch Foreign Man's brand new video that he has decided to punish us all with. So let's watch it and react while playing some sweet, sweet Dishonored 2. I'm actually going to put this up here, and I'm going to put chat down here. Let me minimize chat a little bit. It's fine if I do it like this, because I was planning on making chat smaller anyways in the future, so that y'all can actually see the video. Let's get into it.
This comment changed my life. It was leg day, and I needed my favorite pre-workout, but I was out of it. So instead, I read the filtered comment section. That was my first mistake. I saw the usual suspects. Tactical N-word variation in attempt to evade the comment filter, and this strange comment. Being the God-fearing, sexually repressed and emotional constipated black man that my parents raised, I had never encountered this word before. So I put on my protection and began to search. And though my computer was protected, nothing could save me.
Put on his protection. Oh, he has a photosensitivity a photosensitivity trigger warning up. Quick 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was your chance to leave. Let's watch this.
From what I was about to see. I would like you on a long black leash. I will parade you down the high streets. You've got the attraction, you've got the pulling power. Walk my little doggy, walk my little sex dwarf. They all love your miniature ways. You know what they say about small boys.
That was unironically... Wait! Yeah, no, that's still the video title in the actual video. And on the video, like, that's what he titled it. I don't know why he changed the YouTube name. That's what it's called. Volume 2. The volume's up now. Okay, I'm sorry. That was very funny of an intro to listen to while the Dishonored was going in the background.
Once reserved for my hair texture has been added to the laundry list of culturally co-opted things at the hand of the hueless. That word is kink. Now that that's out of the way, I got a confession to make. You may be taken aback.
Okay, I think he just wait, what? Did he?
A word once reserved for my hair texture has been added to the laundry list of culturally co-opted things at the hand of the hueless. That word is kink. Now that that's out of the way, I got a confession to make. You may be taken aback by this, but please don't go. Vocals. I regret to inform you that I am fatally cis and terminally het.
The hetero hell hecklers.
I'm not shocked. This man gave me no sense of flavor.
Every bimbo's foreign wide.
Now, if you Quentin Tarantino and you hear the word kink, you probably thinking of feet. But other more cultured comrades indulge in more esoteric kinks that I won't list here because money. But there's a principle that I think most folks follow as it pertains to kinks. So long as the kink is between consenting adults and don't include a multi-marginalized communal casting of aspersions, then the kink is cool, which is a criterion that this particular kink fails flawlessly in.
They call it Black New World Order.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry, Lily.
We're talking about that. Okay. I've seen this shit being promoted before. I think it's mostly a meme because I've only really seen Nazis talk about it. But you know that meme where it's like, white man has been here. How do you know? Cock porn. It's kind of like that. Like, it could not be a meme since these are Nazis who mostly like this, like, BNWO, whatever they call it shit. But, like, if Foreign Man tries to claim that this is, like, a majority of people who are into, like, more feminine guy aesthetics, then that's gonna be, like... That's wrong. That's not right. That's incorrect. Come on now.
Here we go.
Also, in the spirit of this video, we will be playing Emily this run.
Forced femme content, that was something that I used to consume. There's like some trans affirming stuff or some supposedly trans affirming stuff, but then there's just a lot of, oh my god, there's just so much racist, so much misogynistic, so much
Transphobic.
When I listen to white men complain about white genocide, I already know that they're watching Black Cuckold. Like, immediately it clicks to me because who thinks about that much, right?
Our relationship would never be the same again. This my cum-colored roommate from Bumbleclot, Iowa, while I was in college. He thought he looked like Doug Dim.
I've actually seen black people doing BWNWO. BNWO. It's important to remember, though, it is a politically charged kink, but it is a kink. It is a fucking weird one, and I will look at you weird if you fucking subscribe to it, you fucking degenerate. But it is a kink. It really depends on how much, like, stock he puts into it, honestly, so far. But so far, pointing out that it's kinda weird is true. Look, I am someone, I generally don't kink shame unless your kink is fucking, like, really bad or promote some, like, really weird thoughts. BNWO is one of those things that kind of does promote some, like, really weird fucking thoughts. Also, I'm sorry, the fucking video of Dishonored was... I didn't know y'all could hear the Dishonored audio. I'm sorry if that was, like, really loud. So... yeah, no, that was really fucking weird. Yo, the song kind of works with the video game cutscenes. It did, which was weird.
And his ma looked like she is called police on black children selling lemonade in the park. It only take 1 week for him to get all Catholic confession on me. Like, I mean, my man start bawling like Jordan Peterson. Now,
Jesus.
I paralyzed with fear, because whatever he got to tell me, got him broke down like Mr. Vegas. So he dab up his nose, dry off the eye, and tell me that growing up, he was taught to hate blacks. From he say blacks, you know, as a noun rather than black people, I knew what I was getting myself into. Mine, you know, this is the first week of college. I ain't even get the syllabus to some of my classes yet, and my boy done gone on a whole Dwight Yoakam on me. So I have an ultimatum. I can either shuffle the deck and get a roommate arguably worse than this man, or insert dog meme, this is fine, and keep it moving, headphones in hopes that this man don't try to ling me from my bunk bed like a wet pair of socks. silly, naive, fresh off the boat, big body foreign, yes, they call me that for some strange reason, thought that just because he grew up like this doesn't mean that
I doubt they called him that. Okay, hold on. In a non-racist way, are we going to agree he definitely plays up the accent a little bit? I wouldn't know. I haven't watched all of his videos. I can't, like, get a comparison point for his accent. And honestly, I kinda don't care, even if he did. A lot of y'all don't realize what I'm speaking as right now in this video isn't necessarily how I normally speak. Like, y'all, I'm from North Carolina, yeah? And while I may not necessarily sound like this every time I talk, I don't always sound like this when I talk. It kind of fluctuates a little bit, you know? So, like, this is the voice that... It's not even necessarily forced. This is the voice that I naturally put on whenever I'm talking to people in, like, a more professional setting, which YouTube kind of is. YouTube is like a job to me, kind of. It's a job that I love, but it's like a job to me. Whereas... say, if I was talking to my parents, I'd probably talk a little bit more like this. Like, it's not too much of a detraction from how I usually talk. And I'm definitely not talking like this, like a deep southerner. But, like, I'm not talking like this, you know? Like, it's code switching. It's how it works. So, he could be, but if he was, I honestly wouldn't care, because a lot of that stuff is natural. Yeah, Sundays. It's all good. The more he tries to tell me people call him big body foreign, the more I start to think people... Yeah, no, I don't think anyone would call him big body foreign. Oop, wait, shit, wrong. Yeah, y'all can see the absolutely scuffed setup that I currently have on my screen right now. This is what I'm looking at directly. Okay.
it's like this right now, right? So you know the black proverb, if you don't laugh, you get cried. Or get David Lynch up. So I tried to make light of the situation by saying that I understand, you know. You grew up in Dubuque, Iowa. Literally clan country. We had a hearty, nervous laugh, and I began to think that we'll get on like a house on fire. Probably the worst analogy I can make here, but we ball. That was my first mistake. Parents' weekend roll around, and Mr. and Mrs. Dimmadam, son, where'd you find this? Took some time from bleaching their hoods to visit their son in college. And they felt bad for Twinkle Twinkle Lil Lashy Me, because my parents were all the way back in the Bahamas, which, I ain't gonna lie, it was tough to see all of the Brady bunches of cream of wheats taking selfies and thing while I hear marching down Minecraft and throwing back bags of ramen and noodles. So Daddy Doug had a genius idea. How about you come back to the Dubuque with us?
No, that's even worse. Let me tell you something.
My big and be them, my big woman them, and my big man them. I was looking.
Okay, so far, I have no issue with the video other than the title, and it could very well be clickbait considering what foreign usually, well, has been known to do. So far, hey Alexi, hey, you're about to die, I know. I'm gonna teabag your body. I hope you know that, Alexi. Like you got fridged hard, dude. And I really don't care, because I have no reason to like you. Like, we get, like, flavor text later that implies that you and Emily were, like, really good, really close friends. But I don't care. So yes, I will be teabagging you.
I'm sorry.
I hope you know that, Alexi. Wait, how do I... Thank you. Aha. 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 Okay. Who's trashing my fellow white Iowans? Stop voting Republican. Maybe people will stop trashing y'all. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay.
This. I was looking for any and every excuse not to accept this one-way ticket to Clanton. Clanton. Just left Clanton. But before you know it, I was in the backseat like groceries, looking at the sanctity of my university in the rear view, and welcome to the Dubuque sign growing closer and closer with every second. We're home.
Uh-oh.
I look up, and I could not believe my eyes. This had to be a setup. I wanted to turn around right then because every moment that I spend here, I was spitting in my ancestors' cotton-stained corpses. I pull up to this literal plantation home. I mean, I could still see the blood, sweat, and tears on the grass like morning dew. I did feel like the boy from Get Out. Every neighbor had a MAGA flag. Like this one neighbor had a gnome, right? But it wasn't even a gnome. It was a minstrel. So begrudgingly.
Okay, I will say, in case anyone like denies his story here, I'm not saying like you can't deny his story, but my experiences in the South incline me to believe that like he's probably not exaggerating. I live in a city that got like fairly big off of cotton trade, and due to that there are some nice, lovely little ooh shit, you scared the shit out of me, son. But due to that, I have seen my fair share of plantation houses, and I have seen my fair share of plantation houses that have been lovingly converted into modern houses that people live in. It is not that uncommon. If you're sending your kid to college, you can probably afford, well, not if you are, but like people sending their kids to college, if you can send your kids to college, you can definitely afford, well, not definitely. If you can afford a house like that, you can send your kids to college, is what I meant to say. So I am inclined to believe his belief. Also, can I maybe actually right quick adjust some settings here, please? Brightness, yeah. Thank you. Okay. It's still bright as shit, but I'll take it. Okay. But yeah, no, I'm inclined to believe his story.
Sphincter tighter than Arthur Fist or the grip of goomers that they have on their... And you wouldn't believe who I saw on the couch. Me more. So, my roommate introduced me to his racing cosplaying grandmother. She the one favor Sophia from Golden Girls. Weirdly enough, she made me feel somewhat safe. Like, this family ain't gonna try to lynch me with me ma sitting right there eating tapioca pudding. But as I say that, I hear this pitter-patter resounding from the stairs. You know who it is?
The dog.
It's Lassie running down the stairs. Like, they can't be that bad, right? They got a dog.
I'm to believe the story.
Till this happened. Like, I should have seen this as a sign to just get the hell out. But my head too hard. Pause. Lassie started barking at me like Lady Bird. Daddy dog.
Wait, what did he say? Why did he say pause?
Resounding from the stairs. You know who it is? It's Lassie running down the stairs. Like, they can't be that bad, right? They got a dog. Till this happened. Like, I should have seen this as a sign to just get the hell out. But my head too hard. Pause. Lassie started barking at me like Lady Bird. Daddy dog.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, already kinda low key. Can I not pick him up immediately after? Oh, I have to get the loot animation. That's why. Hey, Harry Gretel. We're just getting into the ForeignMan video. Dude, I will say directly, I don't know what Lady Bird is a reference to. The only thing I could think of named Lady Bird, only person I could think of is like fucking the wife of President Johnson. That's the only Lady Bird I can like actively think of. But shit, what the fuck was I gonna say? Oh yeah, in my experience, everyone who like says pause after saying something that could like maybe slightly be misconstrued as gay is A, really fucking annoying with it because they do it after every sentence, and B, they do it after every fucking sentence because they're extremely insecure about their fucking sexuality. And considering what is probably going to be said in this video moving forward, considering the original title of this video, the title that I will continue. Also, speaking of which, hey, did y'all know, fun fact about Dishonored, because I like hyperfixated over Dishonored for a while, this is a letter from Wyman. Wyman is Emily's love interest in the game, confirmed to be Emily's love interest, and they explicitly do not gender Wyman in the entire game. So it's actually left up into ambiguity as to whether or not Wyman is a dude or a lady, which I really like. Because the Society of Dishonored doesn't seem to be too homophobic, even though it is kind of modeled off of the 1800s. But yeah, I really like the aesthetics of Dishonored. It's such a cool fucking aesthetic. Even if I don't necessarily like the morality system. But that's enough Dishonored. That's for like a video essay that I will do in the future. Because I'm starting a video essay channel. But yeah, no, like, in my experience, everyone who does that is super homophobic and is, like, really insecure about being, well, not even about being gay, just about their sexuality in general, so they'll do that. It's really annoying. It speaks to, like, a heavy level of childishness to me, also. I really doubt, like, I would not be shocked that this goes into the later points that he makes in the video. At all.
Coddling the dog like, damn, she's never been like this. And I bet, Daddy Dog, I bet she's never been like this, because this probably like the most melanin Lassie ever see in her damn life. It wasn't until later that the mask came crashing down, and I saw what was really going on. We was at the dinner table. You know, Karen made burnt ends, macaroni, potato salad, a smorgasbord of unseasoned food.
Damn.
And I put my best Sidney Poitier, guess who's coming to dinner impression, and scarf that food down like Texas Roadhouse as a meat.
We are almost 10 minutes in. What the fuck does this have to do with the quote-unquote blankification of white men?
Of survival. Then finally, Meemaw breaks her silence for the first time since I reached. I thought she was non-verbal and blind this whole time because she ain't say a damn word to me. And the first word that this woman could say nearly caused me spit out this nearly alive animal because Karen ain't cooked this thing all the way through. This must be sushi how raw this shit is. Anyway, Meemaw say, Doug, get the house. I say the what? Now, mama. Jesus Christ on the back. I stood up in my ashy blackness and bellowed, what in the Jeff Foxworthy is going on in here? I couldn't even threaten to call the cops because they probably still call him the slave.
Yeah. Again, liable to believe this. One thing about racism that I feel a lot of people should probably realize is the fact that a lot of people who are racist don't realize they're racist. And especially when they're older, like, it's not an excuse to be a piece of shit. Like, learn and grow and educate yourself. Or be educated. Allow yourself to be educated. But it is unironically true that, like, if someone is raised in a way that, like, guides them towards racism, they will likely remain racist due to it. And that is something that I saw in my time working as a cashier in the South. A lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of,
I should talk to the captain of that ship.
Yeah, no, I can't get down there. A lot of people I got would come in, like, be racist. Like, I mean, support racist things. Like, I had people, as a cashier, wear Confederate flags and come down my line to check out and not realize, like, how weird a fucking situation that was. And they were amicable people. Like, unironically, the Confederate flag... Oh, shit. Sorry about that. The Confederate flag is a flag of racism. It is, undeniably. It's not Southern pride. I'm from the South. My family has been in the South for generations. My family were slaves. We actually have a proper trace back to that lineage. My family were slaves. And even with that past, even with that lineage, I don't see the Confederate flag as a part of Southern pride, despite the fact that my family has been in the South longer than many people's families have been in the South. Yeah, that's not a symbol of Southern pride. It is a symbol of a racist regime. And a lot of people who are raised thinking that it is a symbol of Southern pride don't realize what's going on there. They don't realize that it's a symbol of a racist regime, And as such, they do not see the disanalog with doing that. Racism is a taught behavior. Oh! Okay. I'm playing on stream for a reason. Oh, my ear! Ooh, shit. Ooh! I haven't played Dishonored in a while, as you can see. But yeah, no. Like I was saying, racism is a taught behavior, and a lot of people just see it as normal. So yeah.
Patrol around these parts. Daddy Doug stand up, redder than a lobster, and storm out the room. Karen clutching her non-existent pearls, and then Doug walk back in the room with this bowl. And I legit thinking that they have a bowl of severed black toes, and Doug opened his mouth up with a sigh.
I grew up thinking it was just a
big body foreign. I hear they call you that for some strange reason. I am sorry. Meemaw has dementia, which makes her speak out of turn sometimes. Meemaw stand up and expose the whole family. Why y'all acting like we don't eat toes for supper?
And it's
Mama,
a fake joke video.
It ain't toes. I open up my mouth. I put my hand in my I put my head in my hand and I say, for the love of the Lord, can you please stop saying the N-word? Can you just wait until I leave? Can you wait until I leave and say it behind my back like the normal Americans? Because if y'all keep doing this, I gotta have a whole racial sensitivity training in Dubuque, Iowa. But I still couldn't get over the fact that there are severed black toes in a bowl on a dinner table in the year of our Lord and big black baby Jesus. Doug started laughing as he told me that they're not actually toes. They're Brazilian nuts. I didn't believe this, man. I look inside the bowl.
I've never heard Brazilian
just to come to the shocking realization that, damn, these are really nuts and they do vaguely resemble black toes. But that wasn't the point, right? Even if they do look like black toes, you can't call it that. And in that moment, I felt so foreign, pun intended. Here's this whole cultural tradition that this family has that they deem to be the norm, but to me is a perversion, a deviation from decorum, a straight line in a crooked world, a kink. Carolyn Shabazz, based surname by the way, defines a kink as the use of non-conventional sexual practices, concepts, or fantasies. The term derives from the idea of a bend in one's sexual behavior, to contrast such behavior with straight or vanilla. It is.
Hey, it's 10 minutes, but we're 27 minutes into the video. Never say I steal content.
Thus, a colloquial term for non-normative sexual behavior. So, despite the overdose of melanin my body has drowned in, I may finally fulfill Fanon's proposed desire of every black man. To be vanilla. Wouldn't Ruckus be proud? This is a deafening definition drenched in heteronormativity, which reveals how straightness is defaulted in alignment with white normalization and religious piety that determines which sexual acts are white, I mean right, and which are wrong. Engendering a strict sexual regimen that prioritizes men in masks, shelves women and femmes, and most of all, incarcerates our sexuality. This is why kinks ought not be tabooed whispers, but instead buoyant bugles that shake the foundations of patriarchy and liberal.
Okay. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm being as good faith as humanly possible. What he is generally saying is true. The way that he worded it seemed like he was about to go in a direction of kink was made by black people and it is cultural appropriation for you to like steal kink. I thought he was about to go into that, but he didn't, so we're cool. The way that he was saying it, where he was like, ah yes, well, you know, straightness is the default, you know? And a kink in the system is like, you know, oh, someone who's not straight, the femmes, the black people, not the black people, the non-white people, and I thought like he was about to tie that all back into kink in general, but it seems like he's making a wider a wider claim about society in general, and kink is the way that he's going to mostly explore that. Which, if that's the case, fine by me.
Our sex. Kinks are keys to the chastity of our identities. And all of these jail allegories are shouting to me to finally get to the painful part of this entire video. I've stalled long enough. I had the pleasure, the unique privilege and distinct pleasure of chatting with two of my favorite creators and a special guest that not only consume the kink that we're discussing today, but curated and created content for this kink. All of whom are trans. This is like the Posse movie.
Uh-oh. Is he about to TQ? Are we about to get the trans question? Oh no. Is his claim deadass gonna be that, like, I hate this level, just let me look this way, and then fucking, like, I know what I need to do. I've played this game so many times. But yeah, no, is his claim actually going to be that, like, white people are leading a secret idea, like a secret cabal, like white queer people are trying to fucking demasculinize fucking black men? Is he gonna be doing one of those? Is he gonna be fucking doing one of those, dude? Swear to God, he better not be doing one of those. He better not be TQing. He better not be TQing. Okay. Fuck off, outsider. Just give me your fucking mark. Come on my hand. Come on my hand, outsider. Come on my hand. Thank you. That's white with cum. My hand is white with cum now. Cum lao. Okay.
Without ball culture and the AIDS epidemic. ADHD tangent, yeah, you know what time it is. But why anytime when I see an AIDS commercial, it gotta be a black queer or black queer person in the B-roll? You think?
Because black queer people can get AIDS too, dumbass. And it's important to note that. Hey, it's important to note that black queer people can get AIDS, especially due to the fact that a lot of the people who suffered under the AIDS epidemic but were fucking buried by the media coverage of the AIDS epidemic that already was fucking poor of it were black queer people. A lot of black queer people were disowned by their families just like white queer people. A lot of black queer people didn't have support structures just like white queer people during the AIDS epidemic, and they suffered exponentially while having to deal with the intersection of racism as well. If you're making a video like this, you should fucking know that. If you're making a video talking about these kinds of topics, you should fucking know that, you dumbass. This is basic shit. The reason why black queer people are often highlighted in those commercials is, yeah, to score diversity points, but it also helps point out the fact that, yeah, black queer people are seen now, or are trying to become seen now, and part of that is also acknowledging that black queer people can get HIV and AIDS, okay? Which is another thing, too, like, when he's, like, I'm pretty sure he said, like, AIDS commercials?
Oh, I've stalled long enough. I had the pleasure, the unique privilege and distinct pleasure of chatting with two of my favorite creators and a special guest that not only consume the kink that we're discussing today, but curated and created content for this kink. All of whom are trans. This is like the Posse movie without ball culture and the AIDS epidemic. ADHD tangent, yeah, you know what time it is. But why anytime when I see an AIDS commercial, it gotta be a black queer or black queer person in the B-roll? You think?
Okay. I know I pulled up my current screen. I just had to do that to go back.
It gotta be a black queer or black queer movie without ball culture and the AIDS epidemic. ADHD tangent, yeah, you know what time it is. But why anytime when I see an AIDS commercial, it got...
Yeah, he said AIDS commercial. So I said AIDS earlier in regards to the AIDS epidemic, which was the AIDS epidemic. But it's important to note now that a vast majority of the actually no, all of the commercials that exist now concerning that are HIV commercials. It's either commercials telling people to get on PrEP, or it's commercials telling people how to get on ART. So, listen, hey, let's have a little education about HIV/AIDS. HIV is the illness that you get. It is the human fucking hell. I'm completely forgetting what it stands for right now because this video just pissed me off that much. But HIV is what you get. AIDS is what happens from HIV. AIDS is the disease that occurs when the HIV infection kills all of your fucking antibodies. That's AIDS. Yeah? HIV is just the disease that you get. Well, yeah, the element that you get when you contract HIV. HIV progresses into AIDS. These commercials are not for people with AIDS. They're for people with HIV. It's either, or people, human immunodeficiency virus. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the term AIDS is very demonized, and it's very fucking weird, especially since he's talked to creators like Cat Black. Cat Black knows this fucking distinction, and she should have never signed off on being in this video if he's making flippant fucking comments like this. Yeah, because this is basic. This is basic knowledge, but it's also basic queer history. Yeah? Oh, stay safe, puppy. This is basic queer history. Conflating the two terms isn't something that you should do. People can live perfectly normal lives on antiretroviral therapy, ART, with AIDS. I mean, not AIDS, HIV. See, he's fucking me up now. Yeah, people can live perfectly normal lives like that. Yeah, it's not fucking difficult. Like, HIV genuinely is not a death sentence anymore. It used to be a death sentence. You can take medicine that reduces your viral load of HIV, if you have HIV, to basically 0, to where you can't spread it to anyone else if you have sex with them, unprotected sex with them, and to where it's not going to affect you in your life. You will live a long life. You just take a pill every day. You will be fine. Yeah, now that's not to say be fucking sloppy and messy and go out and try to catch it. Don't be a fucking bug catcher. But even then, bug catching rarely fucking happens. That's like a 0.00000000001% of people are fucking bug catchers. That's not gonna fucking happen. On top of that, there are medicines that you can take to just not get HIV in the first place, like PrEP. I heavily encourage people to get on PrEP. These commercials are encouraging people to get on PrEP. Get on fucking PrEP. PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. It reduces your chance of catching HIV if you have sex with someone who has HIV and is detectable and can spread it to pretty much 0. And when I say pretty much 0, I mean, like, even medical sources are like, we can't technically say 0, but you aren't gonna fucking catch it. Like, it is insane. Yeah? This is, like, this sloppy fucking rhetoric 12 minutes into the video on something this important when it comes to, like, anyone can get HIV, but it's historically been queer people associated with that. The fact that he's gotten so much wrong on the language alone tells me a lot about how the rest of this fucking video is going to go, considering the original talk of the original scope of this video and the original title of it that we saw earlier that he changed like a coward. I don't know why the fuck Cat Black ever signed off on this. Like, say what you will about Cat Black, she usually gets her shit right on, like, queer issues. At least queer issues, like, involving this kind of shit. She's not usually bad when it comes to stuff like this. This is, like, I would not have signed off on this if I was her.
Be a black queer or black queer person in the B-roll. You think cis het folk them ain't out here catching AIDS? Why in the year of our Lord 2023 are we still getting
That is true. It is important to also note everyone should be on PrEP, not just like gay people. Be on PrEP. If you're taking fucking, like, listen, if you're on birth control because you want to get fucking bread, what the kids are calling it now, what you nasty little fuckers are calling it now, if you're on birth control because you want to get bread, also be on PrEP. Anyone can get on PrEP, and if you're getting regularly fucking cream pride, get on PrEP. Please. For the love of God, get on PrEP. You, like, listen, you can live with HIV, but you don't want to have to live with HIV. You know, get on prep. Simple. Also, get regularly checked. Get regularly checked, please. So that is a good point, but I'm still pretty disgusted by his rhetoric, up to this point. The way that he's used his language up to this point to talk about this.
Propaganda that perpetuates the myth that AIDS is a queer and colorful experience rather than a human one. Anyway, all-star trans cast and one token straight. Your boy, Big Buddy Foreign. I guess this is the world that these unscrupulous leftists want.
Forced fem content in its basic form.
Forced feminization, for me, inherently triggering and very upsetting.
How much there is to unpack here. Jesus Christ.
In order to understand the racialized forced feminization fetish, we need to look at interracial porn.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a big one. Okay, we're back.
Actually look at it, but investigate the meta of it. You can let it go now. Ain't nothing happening here. Interracial porn has always been a widely consumed commodity.
Oh, wait, no, that's what we were talking about. No, fuck, I forgot. Shit. Oh, damn it.
As it's inextricably tethered to the racist institutions of a white cis supremacist patriarchal society. Despite the most searched term on the hub being lesbian and anti last year, the interracial fetish.
Also, it's important to note that the most searched term being lesbian on fucking porn websites is not actually because lesbians are watching it. It's mostly straight guys. That is an actual fetishization issue. That is important to note. Yeah.
Culture has steadily increased as an allegory for America's racial divide, reaching canyon-esque widths. Studios such as Blocked have burgeoned beyond the bedroom and have been neologized into our everyday vernacular, solidified in meme culture and immortalized in song. But other corn houses have been peddling jungle lust as a genre for decades, harking back to the days of DVDs and even brothels dedicated to white cis mandem finding pleasure in the very bodies that they would punish by way of policing, redlining, transatlantic slave trade. You get the picture. I ain't got enough time to be listing all the things that the white man them done. Yes, Lord.
True.
And this dynamic is not only in porn, but in intercourse in general. This hierarchical arrangement of bodies either being the dominator or the dominated is a reflection of our society in general. It's either do or be done to. But kink is a revolutionary way forward, as it subverts the norm. Sex is powerful, political, and public, as well as private, personal, and poetic. But the plot got noughts this time, as we see this kink reiterating the trials and tribulations of the transatlantic slave trade, but with a twist. Or kink, if you will. I'm gonna milk this one for everything it's got.
You have the person being feminized and the person doing the feminizing. Basically, you've got somebody who is a masculine man person who is being turned, quote unquote, turned into a woman or being forced into a feminized role, forcing them into makeup, forcing them into clothes, and making them hold certain postures. It's basically like forcing somebody to put on a drag show, but like generally it's like between two people.
Forced feminization involves sexual role play of cishet mandem undergoing involuntary training and transformation into women or femdem using things like wigs, lingerie, clothing, and heels. The ultimate idea is that the forced femme has failed.
I did not expect to spend my Thursday night listening to a man talk about forced feminization, but here we... Damn, what the fuck was that glitch? That was a weird graphical glitch. What the fuck? Okay.
So stupendously in their masculinity that the only logical decision is to become a woman and sexually serve an actual alpha male.
1 second, quick, Hassan.
So what were you and Sokolov doing here? The old man loved Karnaka, but he'd caught wind of a conspiracy tied to the Crown Killer. He wanted to warn Corvo.
Fuck, Hassan, I'm back. I have to do something real quick. I can't hear you over the video. Okay.
street violence. I didn't give it much mind.
I'll cut it down a little bit.
The local authorities resolve that sort of thing.
Thank y'all for telling me that. Well over 40 minutes into the recording. Thank y'all. I love y'all. Seriously. Where the fuck is my controller? There it is. Okay.
We were going to set up for Dunwall.
I liked it better when Lindsay Ellis was just making fun of werewolf porn. I do too.
Understand is that cross-dressing in general is predominantly a cis hetero male fetish, and a lot of it comes from this idea of feminine things as inherently forbidden. And for a lot of people, they may initially find appeal with forced feminization because it is often presented as one person leading another person through femininity in a very affirming way, right? So if you are a cis hetero man and you have a curiosity for feminizing your body or for being feminine, or maybe you are a trans woman and you are, you know, overwhelmed by this idea of people not accepting you, or of you never finding a woman who's going to be attracted to you as a person who does feminine stuff, it's common for you to look at this forced feminization kink in a very different light, because a lot of times it is a woman, usually a beautiful woman, leading a man.
Pillow has unfortunately seen his fair share of forced feminization porn. I hate this. I've unfortunately seen a large amount of it just because it's such a fucking meme. Not a large amount. Jesus Christ, I don't know why I said a large amount. I've seen a portion of it. From what I've seen, it's mostly like... It's not the trans people consuming it. Like, do trans people consume it? Yeah, trans people consume all kinds of porn. It is like mostly probably, I would say, there's no data on this, it's mostly probably like old white, really fucking homophobic, like Republican men consuming this kind of shit. Like, it's not someone who's like, I want to be feminine, but I'm so scared, so I'm going to like explore through forced femme porn. Like, no, it's someone who's like, I mean, they could be a repressor, who knows, but it's like probably someone who knows that it's a fucking taboo and like will jerk off to it anyways. Like, we see this a lot with Republicans. It'll be like, it's like that one joke where it's like Arthur, and it's like, no one anti-gay politicians when no one's looking, and then it's like him like eating a bunch of shit, and it's like gay porn. It's like that. That's like it. That's it. Yeah, the hypno shit is literally a meme for a reason. Like, this is not trans people. Yeah, and it's like not affirming in any way. It's mostly degrading. Is she gonna like switch up on that?
Through the process of feminization. And for a lot of people, that can feel really affirming. It can feel like you're finally in a situation where you're being embraced, like your highest fear of someone rejecting you for being a woman or for being girly or whatever. It's kind of flipped on its head.
As aforementioned, it's easy to wag fingers in the face of this fetish due to the tangible dangers that we're about to embark on. But let's take a charitable perspective for a second. This fetish can engender an environment where folks who fear or are not familiar with their gender expression could roam like an open world of identity.
I only bring it up because I want to like be 100% honest here.
Oh wait, shit! Y'all can't see the game. Shit, I was just fucking straight up like sniper wolfing it up in here. I'm sorry about that. Wait, do y'all remember that one fucking forced feminization episode of Codename Kids Next Door? Hold up. Wait, dog. Hold up. I still have its fucking title stuck in my head. Because I remember seeing that episode and I was like, damn. Yeah, dude. Listen, what y'all don't realize is that foreign man in a foreign land is actually trying to... Dude, can I scroll over? He's actually trying to stop us all from the codename Kids Next Door forced feminization, right? From Operation Future. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. He's trying to avoid that. He's trying to avoid that future. Man. a lot of cartoons had episodes like that. Oh no. That's like a writer's poorly disguised fetish moment, isn't it? Like a lot of cartoons had episodes like that. Oh no. Oh no, pillow my screen? Oh. Yeah, no. Yeah, Codename Kids Next Door was secretly transing our children all along. Fuck, I'm playing the game again. Damn it! I need to stop doing that. Okay. Sorry. That episode did things to me as a child. That episode did things to me as a child. Don't worry about it. I'm fucking kidding with you. Fuck! Dude, I love doing that with the fucking allies in this game. Just go, like, Sokolov, fucking Adamire, not Adamire, Hypatia, just, like, going around, fucking just, like, doing the worst shit to him. Even that one guy, Stilton, that you saved from the mansion, I love just running around fucking... Because, like, the game just lets you do it. It's fucking ragdoll. It's so funny. Okay. Anyways.
Very uncomfortable to admit, and this is not something trans people talk about with other people, because I think something like a man being feminine can be so like violently repressed. When people raised as male start to like maybe consider options outside of that, the first thing they often go to is sexual. A lot of people's gateway into being trans, like their first dipping their toes into it, is through like cross-dressing. I tend to think these people that we're talking about today, it's not that. You know, it's not out of a love for femininity. It's almost out of like a looking down on it.
In a society right now where transness is under so much scrutiny, discussing the intricacies of transness, especially in mixed company, like when we discuss like black politics and just like the sundry of it all, in mixed company where like your most trollish white folk can then begin to poke holes like, see, I knew black people were bad, like, because this black person is now talking about black Republicans. We know that people can take this and use it to weaponize it against talking about it rather than treating it with the nuance it deserves. So I appreciate that.
When I was a lot younger, I found my trans identity through actually. That's where I learned about transgender people. That's the first I had ever seen transgender.
Unfortunately, that is a way that a lot of people find out about trans people. I actually do not doubt that bit.
People in any sort of way that wasn't just, oh, a man who had
is he in his boxers, foreign man? Who fucking cares? Shit. I'm not in fucking boxers right now, but I'm in fucking basketball shorts. They might as well be boxers. Shit. Boxers are just under the pants basketball shorts, people. Okay? The vid is weird and struggles from lack of focus narrative. That is a foreign man video for you, baby. That is a foreign man video for you. What is this guy's politics? Oh, it's ostensibly left-wing. I have reasons to believe he's left-wing, but he makes stupid fucking video essays. I think he had his shirt wrapped around his junk just like a... What?
And who wears a dress or something like that. And like, because that was the entire framing that I'd had before, is that that's what that was. And then I get to... And I'm searching, exploring, and I'm like, oh, that's me. Okay. There's also wondering, how come I'm a category? How come I am like tightly relegated into a category and will not be seen outside of that category? I am at least like seen as a straight category, or as like a category that can be in multiple sexualities, but I'm still just like, unless I'm clicking on trans, I'm not seeing trans people. There are no trans people unless I click on the trans category. Trans people don't exist unless you click on trans. I was really repressed. I wasn't able to explore and talk about these things with friends. I didn't have family I could talk about this with. I didn't have trusted others that I could talk about with. So the only way that I learned about my sexuality really was watching. And I watched a lot of when I was younger. I used to watch hours of every single day. You get to a point where it's easy to get through all the videos on a website very quickly. and to be like, okay, well, what's next? I want to find another one. I want to find something else that gets me off that isn't the same thing that's gotten me off already. And what I'm noticing now is I was looking for identity. I was looking for me. I was looking for compilations, and then I start finding that the compilations with hypnosis elements.
All these Foreign Man critiques are coming from, because I have no fucking idea how anyone can understand his videos. Listen, I'm attention deficit, and I got through 7 segments in like 2 fucking hours. That's how I can understand his videos. Okay? My brain is simply on a different level, and that different level is Giga Sludge. Yeah? So somehow I've wrapped around to being able to understand his videos.
Where you've got a nice soothing voice in the background with some nice soothing music or some beats, binaural beats or whatever, and they're telling you nice things in your ear.
Oh
and
my
it's like,
god,
I've never had anybody actually be like this with me before. I've never had anybody be soft and gentle with me before. And once you get into the hypnosis videos, it's like Force Femme just like kind of flows from there, because some of the Force Femme things can be really hard to swallow for people. And, you know, if they were under hypnosis at the time, it might be a bit easier, that kind of thing. Forced Femme content was always this place where, at very least, somebody was saying that I was feminine. Somebody was pushing me towards being that feminine ideal. Just let me escape my life.
Okay, this is an interesting perspective, definitely, but it's not what the majority of Force Femme content probably is. The majority of Force Femme content is not fucking designed for trans people with trans people in mind. This is primarily content for like old fucking white men who know this shit is taboo and get off to it because they like fucking the suffering of trans people, but they also want to fuck trans people because that's how they fucking work. You know, that's what most of this Force Femme shit is, okay? And again, like going earlier with what Cat Black said with her stuff, I feel like a narrative is being made here that shouldn't be being made, which is that this kind of content is like very related to trans people when it is, but the way it's related to trans people is like this person that Foreign is talking to now in a mostly fetishy way. That is true, but I feel like some wires are kind of getting crossed, unironically by the way that Foreign does his videos, where it's like the kind of wacky editing style, which like he has turned down a bit here. As, you know, he's kind of gone on in this video, but I do feel like some lines are being crossed rhetorically that make this video seem questionable. And then, of course, you have, like, the title of this video, which is fucking unforgivable. But, like, again, some lines are being crossed that don't necessarily need to be crossed. I always have no room to talk. Yeah. Is there data on that? Data on what? You gotta say, like, what you want data on. I have a very large, break in between, what do you call it? I have, like, very large latency between when y'all see me say something and when I actually say something. Because I need it for, like, my internet to not fucking die on me. So, like, you'd have to specify what exactly you mean with data. Oh, if you were talking about, like, the statistics, I don't have any data, but seeing what I have seen from, like, all of the people, from, like, that kind of content, it's most, like, it is kinda, there isn't gonna be data on it because it's fucking porn, but, like, it's kinda clearly mostly fucking for, like, older men who know it's taboo, who are probably really transphobic. There are a couple of them might be repressors, but, like, a lot of them just get off to it because it's unironically a kink for them. Like they were saying, they just see trans people as a porn category. Which is fucked. But again, I feel like lines are being crossed in this video. Some of this rhetoric being spoken about shouldn't necessarily be spoken about directly one after the other because it crosses wires. It makes the fucking signal go a little fucking long.
Kay's story is synchronously heartbreaking and heartwarming. And with Lily's reiteration of exploration avenues some trans folk them may peruse, being one of the sexual, it purports a harrowing and hallowing reality. Heteronormativity and cis white supremacist patriarchy have coalesced in an Avengers-esque form to push people that don't fit the mold to the fringes of society. Transness is not inherently other. The experience has always existed. I mean, as a cis black man, there are things of my experience that defy the mold of manhood and blackness garishly. I got more cake than a bakery. I got more buns than the Krusty Krab. I probably got more than your gal. If you're a gal watching right now, I probably got more than you. I bet you. Yes, Lord. And having is a feminine trait in the society because patriarchy encourages a body type that is desired by the male gaze, as well as, for a lack of a better word, breeding material. Yes. Many cis folk themselves deviate from...
Oh, what? Oh no, I let that fly over. I let that fly completely over my head.
May peruse, being one of the sexual, it purports a harrowing and hallowing reality. Heteronormativity and cis white supremacist patriarchy have coalesced in an Avengers-esque form to push people that don't fit the mold to the fringes of society. Transness is not inherently other. The experience has always existed. I mean, as a cis black man, there are things of my experience that defy the mold of manhood and blackness garishly. I got more cake than a bakery. I got more buns than the Krusty Krab. I probably got more than your gal. If you's a gal watching right now, I probably got more than you. I bet you. Yes, Lord. And having is a feminine trait in the society because patriarchy encourages a body type that is desired by the male gaze, as well as, for a lack of a better word, breeding material. Yes. Many cis folk themselves deviate from the idea of cisness in varying degrees, but trans folk are more bold with their departure from the shackles of sex and gender. They're braver. But these institutions have a vested interest in sorting people into categories in order to best exploit and subject.
I've had a confusing relationship with my experience of gender over the years. I fetishize femininity on myself and not others, but expressing femininity isn't pure sexual for me either. Yeah, and that's like a valid personal experience. When it gets down to it, people are gonna have different experiences with genders. Again, I feel like this video mostly, like, one title, again, unforgivable, but I also feel like this video kinda mostly suffers from just the wires being mixed by his rough rhetoric, is what it mostly seems like to me. Also, I'm trying to find the black market key so I can break into the back. Where was that in the game? Because I thought it was upstairs in this building, but it might not be. So if it isn't here, then it would be there. The only other thing I could think of is the building with the shrine. Outsider. Because, like, I could have sworn it was in here. Because the guy was, like, growing the fucking flies. As, like, an experiment fucked up and they, like, got out. I know it was, like, a fly-infested building. I'm just trying to find the key. And I feel like it's this one, but it's not. Okay. It's the word force that bothers me, which is the thing about it. Like, there's a difference between porn that's like, ah, yes, this person is feminine, and porn that's like forced femme porn. Forced femme porn has I can't believe I'm talking about this. Forced femme porn has like a completely different vibe to it, I guess you could say, than like just the, oh, this person's a lady, and they're, yeah, like that's like very different vibes. Which is why I'm so confused by... Like, I get why this video got as much backlash as it has, but it does, again, genuinely just seem like Foreign got his fucking shit. God damn it! Just got his fucking, like, rhetoric mixed up because he fucking is a bad videographer. Like, that's it. It just seems like a lot of the messaging that he wanted to go for in this video got mixed up because of how he makes his... what it seems like to me. Hello, getting existential here? Wait, when did I get existential?
This area is restricted on the authority of the Abbey. No one is allowed inside.
What did I say that was existential? Locked from the inside? Yeah, shit, I can break the fucking door. Yeah, fuck you.
End of the road for you. For the Abbey.
Ooh, acid trip. Now let's watch this acid trip.
Them. Hence why transness is exotic under the current creed that we are governed by, rendering much of trans existence online, which is not only a good and a bad thing, but due to these institutions, a necessary and pragmatic one. Games like The Sims have graduated to VR chat, where many trans folk can experience gender euphoria and boldly break the eggs that they were so cloistered in.
I actually did see a good video on this about Letter from Mindy. Yeah, good. Well, unless I find that house, I can't really go back and talk to her. Well, I mean, I could, but like, I want to find the house first that has the shit that I need. Shit, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I actually can't believe that I'm watching this. This is, I feel bad. Okay.
But sometimes the route to one's authentic self is not as accessible as an online game.
And I think there's an important conversation in regards to broader societal fetishization of femininity, but I feel like these videos conflate those. Yeah, that's what I feel like too. I feel like, well shit, this isn't a non-lethal friend, so I might as well just... but this video does seem to, like, do a lot to conflate societal fetishization of femininity and, like, forced feminization as a fetish, which they are tied, but they come from very, very, very different walks of life. Like, societal fetishization of femininity is being, like, weird as shit about women, wanting to, like, condescendingly protect women and shit like that, thinking that you're entitled to their bodies and shit like that. Whereas forced femininity is more like, it has aspects of that, but it also sees womanhood as something that's, like, shameful to be somewhat. Something that you don't want to be, and it also conflates some, like, really weird opinions on trans people. Because, like, that's kind of what forced femininity is. Like, it's like, we are forcing you into the transing. Like, that's kind of what it is. Even if it is not necessarily directly related to trans people, like I was saying earlier in this video, there are some conceptions of it that are related to trans people, but not in a way where it's like, yes, I fetishize trans people because girl dick. It's more so in like I fetishize trans people, I oppress them because they are taboo to me and I do not like them. But at the same time, it is the forbidden fruit, and I love this shit. I want to eat this shit. I will do this shame with the forced femininity. Like that's what it is. So, go to sleep, dude. Go sleep. Thank you. Thank you, go sleep. So yeah. Conflation. Yeah, like, this video is really bad when it comes to the conflation. Like you said, conflation mess you with that aspect? Yeah. I feel like the issue is that his execution is still clumsy. It presents a queerphobic message at some points, and his editing does a disservice. Yeah. Like, unironically, outside of, again, the video title, which I hope he will get to as a topic later, but outside of that, this video has largely not been shit. Hey, buddy. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. I'm gonna fuck you in the eye. Be prepared, cause you're gonna die. Sticky bomb on your bitch ass life. Okay. Let's fuck him up. Yeah, I know you see me. Oh, what the fuck? But yeah, no, this video suffers from conflation and his, like, bad fucking messy messaging.
Way
I
to
got
wholeness
my ass
is a
whooped.
treacherous one, filled with potholes and detours that, but for the world being more inclusive of identities in variegation, these trans folk may not have had to wend that way.
But yeah, Heavy Grotto, like you're
Had the
saying,
paths
and also
for
like the
personal
Dark Kanaka
liberation
saying, it
been
seems
more
like this
clearly
guy does
defined,
not
supported,
seem like he's in the fucking
then maybe
queer
she would have been able to find herself as easy as
he
it
doesn't
was
seem
for
like
me.
he's in, well, he said he's not in the queer community. Get bodied, noob. I am a dishonored veteran. Fuck you. I just completely miscalculated that. I don't even know what the fuck killed me. That shit came out of nowhere. But shit. Also, why is this not loading? It's like stuck at the last little loading percent. It's weird. You know, I don't like if this video was made by, well, no, even Cat Black said some like shit on it that I heavily disagree with. I don't know who could have made this video to make it better, but this is like mostly a rhetoric issue and him clearly not really understanding the topic as well as he could issue. So, I feel like Demon Mama could make a good video on this. I don't know, I think Demon Mama knows a decent amount about kink to like defend it and stuff like that. I feel like Demon Mama could make a good video on this. Hey, maybe we can get Cybersmith to make a video on this. You know, since he knows a lot about kink. Speaking of which, I've been planning on, while we're waiting for this to load, I've been planning on DMing Cybersmith, because I want to get a debate with him. I think that'd be really fun. It wouldn't be on, like, kink shit. It would be on, like, I'm actually gonna DM him after this. I'm gonna try to debate him on, democracy versus monarchism. I feel like that would be fun. She made a great segment on this. Nice! I'm gonna have to check that out. Also, this shit is not loading. This is really weird.
To find out that I'm a cis man.
Is there a chance that like deep down some
loads,
of them are trans and like this is the only avenue they can find to express it is through racism? You know, is there like a world in which a person needs to give themselves permission to be feminine and the only way they can see themselves doing that is this like uncomfortable question?
Okay, it is also important to note, there is unironically an intersection between, like, fucking, wait, holy shit, did they just despawn them? It did just despawn them. Okay. I like that. Picasso. Oh! Nope. Go to sleep. Shit. Let me go back. I forgot entirely what I was saying.
Then maybe she would have been able to find herself as easy as it was for me to find out that I'm a cis man.
Is there a chance that like deep
down...
yeah,
I was saying, yeah, no, there's also definitely, like, he's not lying about this. There is an intersection between horse femme shit and, like, super racist shit. He's not... Like, it's the same thing with, like, cuck porn. Like, a lot of cuck porn has racial fucking undertones to it because, like... Of course. Oh, that book was always there. I used to run back and forth between the rooms so I can get the... I hate that now. I actually really hate that now. Okay. But yeah, no, there is a vast overlap between that. So I wouldn't be shocked if like someone who got into this kind of porn also got into like the racialized aspects of it. So lying tongue, rampant hunger, errant mind, like Rampant hunger. 2, 5, 7. Okay. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be shocked if someone also got into, like, the racialized aspect of it. So, I can defend that, and so far what this person is saying that's on screen right now is, like, I'm not gonna say completely correct, they could change it up, but, like, so far what they're saying is agreeable.
Some of them are trans, and, like, this is the only avenue they can find to express it is through racism. You know, is there, like, a world in which a person needs to give themselves permission to...
Oh my god. That was like BNWO. I wish he hadn't
be feminine, and the only way they can see themselves doing that is this, like, uncomfortable question.
Right. I'm gonna design myself a duck OC. I think that'd be cute. I'm gonna duck tails. Ooh, it up in here, dude. Gonna be fucking sick. Not a furry.
I don't even know if I want the answer.
But the marginalized spirit is so indefatigable that it will contort to whatever it's cloistered in, like water in a bottle. We ought always focus on the institutions rather than the individuals when deciding where our energy is best placed. But the way to understanding these very institutions, especially the one that we're talking about today, are through the individuals in this case. That said, this movement is home to very heinous happenings.
My femininity is not, first of all, it's not sexualized, right? Like,
funny
first and foremost, I don't see femininity as inherently sexual or forbidden.
I feel like
or
I'm not gonna go on the, this is a short aside, I'm not gonna go on, like, the whole, like, why are you into human pet shit? Actually, no, I could. I might be able to, because there actually might be a race, like, this is actually related then. There might be a racialized aspect to, like, the human pet thing, why he thinks, like, the human pet shit is like an acceptable line of inquiry to go down. And, like, as a kink, because there it could be like, why do you want to own a human? What's up with that, bro? You know, we tried that for a little while. It was weird. Some of them were used for sex. So, like, wait, she called it a movement? Yeah, no, it's not a movement. So they can only be transgender if they're black? Yeah, that is... Yeah. Again, like... The thing is, they know that that isn't true. They don't actually believe that. But they're... Oh my god! But their rhetoric is so fucking messy that it, like, ends up seeming like that. Which is the big issue with a lot of people like this. A lot of people like this think that, like, ooh, like, Vosh is bad. Because Vosh says stuff occasionally that's bad. But the thing is, these people put out, like, really fluffy video essays and shit, and I accidentally just wasted a bullet. Thank God there are guns on that tape. But, like, these people, these fucking, whatchamacallem? That tells you how stubborn I fucking am. I just said whatchamacallem. But, like, they always say, not always, but, like, very often their rhetoric will be very messy, like, dangerously messy. And it's not a situation where they can, like, correct themselves automatically. They have to do it in, like, a tweet thread that not everyone's gonna own! Fucking zoom! I fucking tossed myself off the edge! Okay. That was good. Okay. Oh god. Okay, I completely lost my train of thought. Can someone please remind me what I was just talking about? Oh wait, no, I remembered. Yeah, no, a lot of these people... Okay. Freshman year theater, come back to me. a lot of these people are really bad with their rhetoric, and they can't immediately correct it, as well as they should be able to. It's still loading, due to the fact that their videos aren't live streamers like I am. And this is a benefit to the live streaming medium. If you get something wrong, you can get it right immediately. Yeah? If you're a video essayist and you get something wrong and you ship and you export out a video, you're done. The only thing that you can do at that point is delete the video, which a lot of people won't do because it hurts their analytics. You can make a Twitter thread, which isn't going to go out to everyone because, I mean, I'll use me as an example. I'm a content creator, even if I'm smaller. I'm at about 4.39k subs. I have about 1.2k Twitter followers, and not all of them follow me because of my YouTube stuff. Like, a vast majority of them don't follow me because of my YouTube stuff. It's just because I am a Twitter poster. When it comes down to it, audiences don't carry over to platforms as good as people think audiences carry over to platforms. And that is an issue when you're a video essayist, because if you get something wrong and you ship out a video, that's set. Whereas if you're a live streamer and you get something wrong, you can catch it immediately and change it up. You can address it in the next stream, which can happen tomorrow or the next day, depending on how frequently you stream. So you can pretty much immediately correct it to your direct audience, or you can change it in the moment and then edit it out in post if you made a pretty severe mistake. That's not something that happens with video essays content, which you can argue, yeah, there's a filter in video essaying where, like, you're reviewing it, yada, yada, yada. But, like, 9 times out of 10, I'm saying this as someone who's currently writing video essays about pieces of media. If you get something, like, when you're at the scripting process in your video essay, you are pretty much done fact-checking yourself. Like, that should be in your notes before the video essay. Yeah, you go through, you fact-check yourself while you're doing it, but by the time you're at the script writing process, the fact-checking is largely done until you do your script revisions. That's about it. So if you get something wrong in your notes, oops. And then if that gets into the script, you're probably not going to change it unless it's a really egregious mistake. So yeah. It's the difference between dropping a bomb and running and taking frontline sniper fire. Yeah. That is a huge problem with the vid with me. He should have stuck to one or the other rather than shifting aimlessly between the two. Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll see a large amount of people hate on people who hone rhetoric and then turn around. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about it too. These are the people who constantly talk about being clean with your rhetoric, and we've seen repeatedly in this video that ForeignMan is not very clean with his rhetoric. Okay. The game is done loading.
The fetish is based in their state of their body. So they're going from, like, a body they see as, like, default as unremarkable to one that they see as, like, inherently sexual. Why does going on hormones make you inherently sexual, right? Like, what's up with that?
I don't really enjoy feeling like somebody's interest in femininity is specifically tied to a misogynistic view of a woman's sexuality. Some people who are into forced feminization kink see being feminine as the lowest thing you can do. That's part of why it's sexually appealing to them, because it's degrading for them to be feminine.
Okay, that's a good point.
Why is a body like mine more, like, worthy of fetishizing, right? I want to know what's humiliating about being more feminine.
A lot of men who want women submissives don't want trans women as submissive. Some people do, but a lot of them don't. And if they do, sometimes it is tied closely to some of those fetishes, right? So I've definitely had dominants approach me who were interested in sort of doing, like, sissy play and like that. And for me, that's, you know, I always want to be respectful of other people's thing. But it's like vomit inducing for me personally. Like, the idea of somebody looking at me and seeing me as a sissy and wanting to sissify me, which of course there's a degradation aspect to that. It's just so offensive.
Forced feminization is kissing cousins with hypnotism, cuckoldry, and BBC content. And I ain't talking about Doctor Who. The first
He's
cousin
right
of the
about
forced
this
femme
point.
kink on their mom's side is the BBC fetish, which dehumanizes by way of deification the masculine black body. When you put it like that, y'all may have guessed by now that the cuckoldry and BBC fetish are derived from the transatlantic slave trade, where black women were viewed as highly promiscuous, while black men were viewed as sexually deviant, predatory, and extremely tall and masculine. Combine race with the known danger of masculinity, and you have a recipe for disaster.
Take my days and that's not nearly all.
4chan. Oh God.
On April 4th, 2018, an anonymous post was made on the taint of the internet 4chan. An individual making a call to action to feminize the incels of 4chan, even if it means by force. And ain't on with the alias Rico. I assume that's how it's pronounced, Rico. So not anonymous, I guess, because I mean, you got a whole name, right?
Probably.
Rico preyed upon a particular subthread. I don't know what they call it on the hellscape. Subthread named R9K, where majorly cis men that have withdrawn from society congregate to vent about their dissatisfaction with their disenfranchisement. Rather than being a men's self-help forum like the great folks there over in r/men's lib, R9K has fermented into a breeding ground that can be linked to some of the most egregious incelic events of the last decade, such as the South Polk Community College attack. It is apparent that the folks coming here ought be helped, but instead, they've been herded for nefarious activities, and one of which was this.
This section
As
in
is
particular
commonplace
is
with
bad?
online forums,
Okay.
some folks post things
no.
that don't quite fit the theme. Whether it's me and FD link dumping in r/breadtube, or flooding this hub for lonely men with what I understand to be
At least he isn't
trap
talking about
threads.
TTTT. What?
These trap threads would exhort these lonely, anonymous...
Oh, he's just saying the word. Wow, he's wow. Damn. And I don't have any fucking. You know, while I'm down here, I might as well get this. Jesus fucking Christ. This is why I play fucking Corvo. Fuck Emily. Cucked. Yeah, just like the fucking black on white cuck porn. Oh wait, no, y'all can't see me. I just fell in the game. Just like the black on white cuck porn. Yeah, no, he hard teed it. Isn't that a slur? A lot of people consider it to be a slur. I don't personally say it. I consider it a slur. Low tier slur. Not as offensive as other slurs for trans people. That's for fucking sure. But it is pretty much a slur. He just, yeah, he did it hard. Twice at that. Twice. Did. And earlier in the video too, he was complaining about what was he saying? Yeah, he was complaining about like being invited over to like his white roommate, like his white college roommate's family's house, and like the grandmother just going like, "Oh yeah, N-word," and like him going like, "What the fuck?" Which like reasonable. So I don't know why he's doing this now. Like this is very incongruent. This is very incongruent. Like this is weird. I did not expect that.
Uses to cross-dress and even transition to cure them of their disposition.
I think generally it is a slur. There are other terms that you can use, and the entire reason why it's even a term is because it like kind of originates from the idea that like feminine men and trans women, but it's kind of mostly been directed at trans women and trans feminine characters in anime, exist to like trap men to like fuck them and make them gay. That's why that whole thing was a meme. Like, oh, are they gay? Like it's I talked about it. I actually talked about people like this earlier in the stream, like Nuxtaku. By the way, if you're watching this video not live, you can actually, you know, see that video on my channel, hopefully. And if not, you know, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you know whenever that goes live. But yeah, no, like the entire reason why that is even the term that is used is because it comes from like the very transphobic idea that like trans women, and also sort of related but not quite, that feminine men are attempting to, like, trap, quote-unquote, cis men into, like, fucking them. Yeah, it was a legal defense. Like, it still is a legal defense, actually, I think. The trans panic defense. Like, it's really weird that he would use this as a word so out in the open and brazenly.
No, this ain't naive, foreign, mistaken, a queer-affirming thread on 4chan to be a trap thread instead. This was predatory grooming, much like Matt Walsh and them claim trans folk to be doing, but instead, it was apparently a cis dude grooming these users by seeking out lonely victims to feminize them. It would later come out that this was a concerted effort to feminize folks for fetish, even so far as to blackmail these folks into transitioning.
Jesus.
Whether folks truly transition is up for speculation, but what is obvious is that this is a repugnant case study of
I actually have
feminization
not heard about this
as a
one.
means of predatory fetishization. If you're able to look past the invidious act of preying upon presumably men that are in dire need of help and community, then the apparent misogyny that this is drenched in by deeming women and femmes to purely be sexual experiences, as well as the humiliation kink suggesting
Wait,
to be a woman.
I think I want to go live in the forest.
So we're at... Okay. Before he gets on this rant.
Transition is up for speculation, but what is obvious is that this is a
Unconfirmed rumor?
repugnant case
Okay.
study of forced feminization as a means of predatory fetishization.
Thank you, Naomi.
If you're able to look past the invidious act of preying upon presumably men that are in dire need of help and community, then the apparent
Preying upon men who are in dire... Hold up.
predatory grooming.
Let's run this back one more time.
Trans folk to be doing, but instead it was apparently a cis dude grooming these users by seeking out lonely victims to feminize them. It would later come out that this was a concerted effort to feminize folks for fetish, even so far as to blackmail these folks into transitioning. Whether folks truly transition is up for speculation, but what is obvious is that this is a repugnant case study of forced feminization as a means of predatory fetishization. If you're able to look past the invidious act of preying upon presumably men that are in dire need of help and community, then the apparent misogyny that this is drenched in by deeming women and femmes to purely be sexual experiences.
Okay. Let me let him finish this, actually.
As well as the humiliation kink suggesting that this is an embarrassment to be a woman.
I think I want to go live in the forest for 200 years. Going on hormones and all this is such a big thing that changes so much.
Okay. That was weird. Because, like, listen, that rhetoric right there got... I mean, not even dangerously close. It was pretty much just like, yes, there was one time a concerted effort, even though, one, it's a Know Your Meme page, and two, apparently it said, like, oh, by the way, this is unconfirmed, so... But yeah, there was, like, a concerted effort by someone to, you know, like, force feminize a bunch of people on 4chan, a bunch of lonely people. There's someone who's preying on a... There's a dude who is preying on lonely men. Oh shit, I'm blocking my gameplay. I'm sorry about that. There is a dude who was preying on lonely men and trying to get them to transition, you know? Because they were lonely and confused. They're coming after the confused and lonely people. They're coming after the confused and lonely people to try to transition them forcibly. They're forcibly transitioning all of the confused, lonely people. That's what it is. They're trying to trans them. Just like they're trying to trans the confused, lonely kids. Like, that is what it really came off on, and then he immediately pivoted to, oh, well, you see, also, this also is, like, super misogynistic, because it implies that, like, being a woman and also being trans is, like, something to be ashamed of. Which is true. That is heavily misogynistic and fucked up. But also, that first little line of reasoning there, like with what, with Orthro is saying in chat, I'm having a stroke right now. Like what he's saying what they're saying in chat right now, yeah. That is, like, playing dangerously close to conservative rhetoric in terms of trans people. Like, that is really weird. Yeah, straight up Daily Wire moment. Yeah, like that's really weird. If I showed this to anybody in my family, they would probably double down on their transphobia. Yeah, this is exactly what this video is doing. Because I feel like if you showed this to anyone who's like already transphobic, they're just gonna go like, oh yeah, see? Like this trans thing, it's just a fetish. And I'm sorry that everything got orange all of a sudden. That is my 12 o'clock nighttime filter that comes on my Steam Deck. Let me go ahead and go down here. Cut this off. You see, that's how I play powerful games on stream. I do it on my Steam Deck. It's a very good investment. That's how I can play this and also stream to you at the same time. Yeah, no. That is like a really weird conservative line of inquiry, and if I were to show this to a transphobic family member, and I got plenty, do trust, if I were to show this to a transphobic family member, they would probably look at it and go like, oh, so like, it's just a fetish? Like, these people want to forcibly be turned into women? That's a little weird. And then, like, they'll probably become more transphobic over it. Like, this is a really weird line to go down. Pillow, there are parts where he flirts with buck breaking and Oh, no! Damn it! Base blue filter? Yeah, it's a good filter, but at the same time, if I was playing it on my Steam Deck directly, I would keep it on, but since I'm playing it on a screen that is exuding blue light, and I'm in front of a ring light, look, the blue light is already getting fucking cooked into my retinas. I can't really protect myself from it, so it just turns shit orange for no reason. So yeah. If I hadn't seen it here, I'd think he's a conservative, yeah.
I have so many questions, like, how are they even getting them if they're not trans?
It is inherently fantasy for most of these people, right? So a lot of these people are not actually in any meaningful way transitioning, right?
True.
What they might do is, like I said, take photos from other people. Like, I've definitely seen, just because I've been on...
Like I was saying earlier, a lot of these people who are into this forced femme shit aren't into it because... Hold up. Give me your shit. Aren't into it because, they're actually trans. They're into it because it's a fetish for them.
Line for too long. People take photos of people who I know and like pretend that they are that person going through transition, right? Like the forced feminization community does do a lot of like stealing photos of actual transgender women, as a way of expressing their fetish. So what you may see and think, oh, these people are actually transitioning, it's not that. And in fact, for a lot of these men, the fact that it isn't real is kind of like why it excites them, right? How this materializes, how this impacts a transgender woman is that generally speaking, if you're a trans woman posting photos of yourself on the internet, and especially if you're a transgender woman who has documented your transition in any way, if you have shown yourself change or whatever, the content that you post will be taken and stolen.
Oh no, it's the me after playing Starfield meme. I just came up with that off the top of my head. That's not actually what it's called. But yeah, no. God damn it. Oh shit, wait, no, this is the apartment with the key. It was right above the fucking store. Jesus, I went way too far. I went, like, entirely too far. Like, I fucking spirited myself away. Okay, can I stop climbing on shit? Yeah. Yeah, it's the fucking COVID meme. Me before and after COVID. Transgendered. They forcibly transed my gender. It's not even forced feminization. I'm actually, I was actually, FTM. I'm actually trans mask. So this meme doesn't apply to me. Also, I'm kidding. I am not, personally. Like, a pillow was not actually trans mask. It's just it was a hypothetical person. You know, like me in an alternate universe where I actually am trans. How about that? If that makes sense. Where's the key?
Feminization blogs. So what you'll see a lot is you'll see actual transgender women being reposted on forced feminization blogs as, a way of feeding into the fetish, right? You started here, now you're here. These are things that are projected onto you. Your images are stolen to make inferences that are not true. I actually, years ago, had a transition timeline because I was like, this is when my channel only had like 5,000 subscribers and like, I just wanted more views, frankly. And then somebody downloaded it and reposted it on a fetish forced feminization page. And it was so uncomfortable because you have somebody now taking your story, taking your experience, and fetishizing it.
But wait, there's more.
Well, sir, you forgot to add that that guy didn't quite quit, but died somewhere in a building so infested with blood flies that the Grand Guard condemned it. How's anyone supposed to get that key back? So the key was in the fucking building. Wait. Where's the fucking key? Do I not have the key? It should be... It's under mission. Right? Locate the black market sharp key. Yeah, it should be in the building that I was in. I have the interrogation room key in the signet ring. Where the fuck is the key? ¿De dónde estás? My fucking key. I want to rob the black market shop owner. Where the fuck is my key? I would like a key, please. Okay, let's continue.
You also have
those are
transphobia
trans
by
memes that he's using in
infantilizing
a forced
transness,
context.
exotifying transness, and most of all,
Context.
deeming
That
it to
is
be
weird.
an inherent sexual experience, thus denying trans folk autonomy and wholeness by limiting their spectrum of self to just sex.
One of the central parts of it is
Again, like, he's saying, like, yes, this is limiting trans people to just sex, but, like, he was using the fucking T word earlier, not the one that ends in a Y, the one that ends in a P, and, like, that one pretty explicitly comes from, like, fucking hentai, where it's, like, it's either a trans person or, like, a fucking really feminine guy in anime, because that happens a lot. And it's like, ooh, they tricked the men into fucking them, or like they tricked the man and now they're actually fucking them. Ooh, like that's what that mostly comes from. Do you think believing in force femme as a real thing and entertaining it as something other than a weird internet quirk is kind of giving ground to the conversion therapy rhetoric? Yeah. Yeah, actually, yes. I actually do believe that. Watching this video, yeah. Yeah, that does heavily bleed into that kind of rhetoric. It is a weird internet quirk. Kink and shit. It is a weird internet quirk. Well, it's not an internet kink. People do it in real life. But it is just a weird fucking kink that people do. Yeah? It is not something where it's like... where it really expands beyond that. Are there societal implications to it? Yes. Are there heavily transphobic implications to it? Yes. Are there heavily misogynistic implications to it? Abso-fucking-lutely. But the thing about that is, implications aside, that's not all it is. And I find it really weird that this line of inquiry leads into it, and then it tries to tie it to trans people, when, yeah, there is a tie to trans people in this. There is absolutely going to be a tie between forced feminization porn and trans people, but that's not the main draw of it. That's probably not the majority of people who consume it. The majority of people who consume it are not going to be trans people. Yeah? Do trans people consume it? Probably. There probably are some trans people who get off the forced femme porn. But I guarantee you, for every one fucking trans girl named Lily who gets off the fucking forced femme porn, for every trans guy named Kyle who gets off to, like, there's no forced mask porn. Fuck it, he can get off to forced femme porn too. Or like every fucking trans guy named Kyle who gets off to forced mask porn, or every fucking non-binary person named Sock or some shit. Love my non-binary. But like every non-binary person named Sock or some shit who gets off to fucking like forced whatever porn. There is not going to like forced ethereal sky god porn. There's not. There are like 10,000 fucking old guys named Harold who are sitting there getting off to fucking the idea of getting force femmed, or the idea of like force femming someone else, but like mostly seeing someone else getting force femmed. Like that's what it is, okay? It's not mostly trans people getting off to this shit, and I feel like again their rhetoric is super fucking messy, and they need to clean it the fuck up because it's sending the wrong message, and it's sending a message that they know is wrong. This is really weird. No, not Kyle. Give me a fucking trans mask name then. I need a trans mask name. Yeah? Connor. in my experience, trans mask guys go for like really dude bro-ish names, which I don't blame them for. Dude bro-ish names serve a purpose for a reason. I'm perfectly fine with it. Also, where the fuck is this house? Because it's not this one. I've ran through this entire house. It is not this one. It ain't in there. It ain't in there. It is not in there. Which I would have thought that was the second one, but it's not in there. And it's also not in there because the only thing over there is Hypatia's apartment. And also that one fucking, safe store that you can rob. So genuinely, where the fuck is this building? Because this is the only one I can think of where it would have the fucking bloodfly nest with the fucking, key in it. Because this is the bloodfly infested building. This is where it should be. Where the fuck is the bloodfly? Where the fuck is the key? I want to rob... Actually, you know what? Got it.
Humiliation is that this is some sort of humiliating thing, that they are going to be now in some sort of lesser role, that they're going to be taken down to the level of a woman, to a place where they deserve. Every single video that's just like, the primary focus of the video is you are supposed to focus on just the Tyrone aspects of this person and worship it as God, basically. Since you as a white...
Wait, did they just say the Tyrone Wait, what? What? The what aspects?
Spectrum of self to just sex.
One of the central parts of it is humiliation, is that this is some sort of humiliating thing, that they are going to be now in some sort of lesser role, that they're going to be taken down to the level of a woman, to a place where they deserve. Every single video that's just like, the primary focus of the video is you are supposed to focus on just the Tyrone aspects of this person and worship it as God, basically. Since you as a white man are so tiny and submissive, and look at your tiny and haha, look at your small arms, and it's just like you are pathetic and weak, and that you are never going to be able to compete with black men because they are the strongest, most powerful thing. So you may as well just go ahead and start feminizing yourself now and start taking estrogen because you're such a weak boy, and you gotta become a sissy for black men, and that's
goddamn. Fetishization can sometimes be tricky to identify because it's easy to write off as...
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he does tie in BNWO. I was just about to say that. Yeah, this is where the BNWO aspect comes in, and it's important to note. BNWO is not some fucking popular. Like, I bet a lot of people here have no idea what the fuck BNWO is. It stands for Black New World Order. It is a fucking kink. It does have heavy ties to forced feminization. It does have heavy ties to, like, cuckoldry. It does have heavy ties to, like, fucking, like, black fetishization porn. It's weird-ass shit. And listen, I'm saying that as a black person. Look, personally, I don't really like, the idea that there are, like, a bunch of white people whacking off to the idea that, like, me, who's playing Dishonored, and watching this video and does politics on YouTube, I'm the nerdiest motherfucker on the planet. I don't like the idea that, like, some person out there is, like, whacking off to the idea that, like, people like me are going to fucking storm into their house, fuck their wives, pleasure them more than they could ever pleasure them, and, fucking force them. Like, yeah, that shit is weird. But, like, I guarantee you, probably less than, like, 1,000 people who are actually into that. It's like a tiny amount of people who are probably into that. Is it weird? Yeah. It's really fucking weird. It's really weird. It needs to stop. But at the same time, it is not as prevalent as... Like, the fact that they made an entire video and this is, like, the lead up to it, it makes it seem like it is a bigger issue than it is. Yeah, it is not an issue. It is really not an issue. Yeah? Like, it's almost like them making a video about it is hamming it up. It's really weird, really fucked up. I'd appreciate it if, you know, they didn't do it. Anyways, let's rob a guy right quick. Yeah. Hey dude, how are you? I'm gonna steal all of your shit. See, this is the Black New World Order. Reparations, Naka! Give me my reparations, Naka! Thank you. Give me all of your shit. Want all of your shit. 'Cause I'm not buying shit from you. You are a black market vendor in my kingdom. So I'm just gonna steal from you. All of your shit. Steal all of your shit. You'll be fine. You can't report it to the cops, because, once again, black market vendor. Good luck, dude. Next time, maybe don't give your keys to people who don't need them. Or don't deserve them. Like people who keep blood flies. Yeah. Yeah, that would maybe be a good idea. Anyways. Yeah, so BNWO is a subcategory of subcategory. Yeah, it's like really formed that shit. And it really comes from the idea that comes from unprocessed racism. Yeah. Either I completely read that wrong or that was worded wrong, but I'm not rereading it again. Yeah, BNWO is like peak racist fucking porn thing. Like really weird. It's like it is dead ass what racist white people used to think that black people were gonna do to them if they got like a modicum of civil rights back in like the fucking 1960s. It's like really weird. It's really weird, but it is not prevalent. Are you doing a high or low chaos run? Looks like high chaos. I can't manage a low chaos run when I'm reacting to a video like this. So, I'm guessing high chaos, so I'm gonna have to deal with more blood flies down the line, but that's chill. It would be easier to do low chaos if it was like Dishonored the original, because Dishonored the original kind of favors low chaos in terms of like the way the game operates. Like I low chaos ghosted Dishonored 1 on my first playthrough on very hard, well not very hard, on like the hardest difficulty. Like you can low chaos Dishonored 1 really fucking easily. Honestly kind of encouraged because the combat system in Dishonored 1 fucking sucks ass compared to Dishonored 2. But like, at the same time, you know, fucking low chaos. Might as well high chaos. High chaos is funner. You give me all of these tools, let me fucking kill people, you know? I'll deal with the fucking challenge of the blood flies down the fucking line. I'm fine with that. Okay. Anyways, back to the video.
A sexual preference and can be masked by compliments, adoration, or genuine appreciation. And I want to be clear here again. Fetishes by themselves aren't problematic, as fetishization on a basic level is simply just the sexualization of something, which can then make it desirable. As Dr. Donna Oriola once put it, it's not wrong to be attracted to skin color, body type, hair, or cultural descent, but only going for certain phenotypic traits disregards others' humanity and places them into a category of something to possess or conquer, which can be led to violence against black bodies.
Okay, I would also add a caveat to that. It is one thing to have a preference, and some preferences can be weird and rooted in racism, and that is something to examine. I would add the caveat that it's like, you get to the point, not where it's like, oh yeah, you know, I just like personally have this preference, and it's like, I have this preference and I'm gonna dehumanize people. Yeah. 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 I feel like it also comes from a place of overt and acknowledged racism too. Wanting to feel lower than a black person feels pretty overtly racist to me. Yeah.
Good job. How's it racist to say that I want to have a BBC? Bruh. Like, it's a category. It's a category, and the amount of times I look for BBC gangbang, one female, 6 BBC guys.
Back to the BBC thing. This fetish is all about worshipping the onyx obelisk and uses animalistic verbiage such as studs and stallion.
I'll give it to him. Onyx Obelix was fucking good. That was good. I'm calling my dick that from now on. Fucking Onyx Obelix. I'm calling my dick that. That's actually really good. That is a good line. Back to it. That is a fucking hilarious line. That's actually really good.
It's not just soy boys or chads who are into it. No. It's Karen and her Queen of Spades tattoo and breeding kink. It's your alpha male obsessed friend Cody who enjoys being locked in a chastity cage with a spade logo which classifies him as being automatically subservient to the black men who will plow his wife like it's reparations for never having received those 40 acres and a mule.
The kind of white men who feel like they are being feminized by inherently having sex with a black man or being submissive towards a black man, or also the kind of men who really get off on seeing white women do that with black men, right? And so what they're sort of doing is imagining, you know, that they are in that position. And when they're in a relationship with someone, a lot of times this is, you know, I want you to, you know, my wife in a way that I've never been able to, and feminize me, right? Now, of course, like I said, there are people who, when they're exploring that fetish, feel, oh my gosh, I might be trans, and then they might actually pursue it. But usually that's because they're trans, not because of the fetish so much, right? Transitioning is really gnarly, right? And so much of what these men actually fetishize in all reality is their position in this as a white man. And specifically as a white man who has the power to define this situation for exactly what it is. Because one thing you'll find is so much of it is based in how much the man is actually enjoying it. He might say, please her in a way that I've never been able to please her. Like in his mind, the fetish may be that he's trying to like satisfy her or, you know, have her be satisfied. But really it's about him getting his kink, you know? And a lot of these couples that I've seen, a lot of times it is like the guy really pushing for it and the girl could take or leave it, right? And I've seen more than a few times where they did this thing, they did the cuckold thing, but like he actually didn't want it to go the way that it went. Sometimes, you know, people end up doing this and it ends up ruining relationships because maybe she really does want to leave you. Maybe she really does want to leave you for this black guy, right? And that's where the line gets drawn, right? That's when the racism and the other isms are like not that far.
I got too caught up in that, I'm sorry. Let's go back a little.
They did the cuckold thing, but like he actually didn't want it to go the way that it went. Sometimes, you know, people end up doing this and it ends up ruining.
The Adam 2 thing, 22 thing is one of a jab at like Sneeko's wife getting into sex work. I just thought Sneeko got like unironically cucked. Like I thought he actually got cucked. Was it like all about his wife getting into sex work? If so, then that's I'm sorry for laughing at that and like buying into the fucking like, oh, Sneeko got cucked, because like being with someone who's in sex work is not getting cucked. Yeah, no, that's weird as fuck if that's what that was.
Relationships because maybe she really does want to leave you. Maybe she really does want to leave you for this black guy, right? And that's where the what it is, because one thing you'll find is so much of it is based in how much the man is actually enjoying it. He might say, please her in a way that I've never been able to please her. Like in his mind, the fetish may be that he's trying to like satisfy her or, you know, have her be satisfied. But really it's about him getting his kink, you know? And a lot of these couples that I've seen, a lot of times it is like the guy really pushing for it and the girl could take or leave it, right? And I've seen more than a few times where they did this thing, they did the cuckold thing, but like he actually didn't want it to go the way that it went. Sometimes, you know, people end up doing this and it ends up ruining relationships because maybe she really does want to leave you. Maybe she really does want to leave you for this black guy, right? And that's where the line gets drawn, right? That's when the racism and the other isms are like not that far, you know, behind all this, right? Because some of the appeal for some of these white men in these positions is the fact that this white woman is lowering herself to do something that she wouldn't usually do because he wants it. It's mostly cis het men, because a lot of these men will maintain a very particular masculine normative image. And then behind closed doors, they're a sissy pass around bottom slut, right? And I've seen so many people like that, right? A lot of these men don't actually want their wives to leave them for black men. They don't actually want to bow down to the Black New World Order or anything like that. Their fetish is specifically seated in the idea that they, as white men, have immense power and they can define a sexual scenario that pleases them to their very T.
The forced feminization kink is a self-identifying cis male fantasy to become a docile.
Was a good point. She's jumping back and forth now. Now she ultimately got down to it. A lot of the fucking BNWO shit is a bunch of people who actually do have power when it comes to like when it comes to like racial and sexual dynamics and like the intersection between racial and sexual dynamics, who get off on quote unquote losing that power, and for that like that's their fucking kink. Like they get off on it, but like ultimately they are secure in the idea that they can take control of that situation. Like, again, a lot of the people getting off on this are, like, probably married, super old fucking white guys who fucking, like, you know, can't really please their wives anymore, but, like, don't give a fuck because they are in control of the situation. They earn all the money. She can't fucking divorce him, so he's gonna fucking go off and beat off the fucking, like, black cuck porn and shit. Like, that's what a lot of it fucking is. It's people who have power in these, typical sexual dynamics, and what ends up happening is, they get into this kind of shit. Also, this is gonna take a while to load. I think, oh yeah, it's because the fucking disk space on the Steam Deck is low. I have to delete some shit. But, like, they get into this kind of shit where it's like, oh, this is, like, the power dynamic I'm into, and yada yada yada, and it's, like, really fucking gross and disgusting. But, like, ultimately, they do have control of the situation. Yeah, they allowed it. They were the ones who caused it to happen. They had control over the situation. So ultimately, like, they kind of don't give a shit. It's like a way of getting a degradation kink where you have all of the power. Which in every kink, both partners should have, like, all of the power in a situation. And my roommate just remote started his PlayStation, so he's gonna be back anytime soon, so that's gonna be weird. Actually, you know, we're at 38 minutes through the video. Hour 21 minutes through. What are the last sneak peek at anti-blackness in the Indian community? I guess that's his next video. We're gonna continue on. I'm gonna speed it up, but yeah, no. Cat Black was, like, completely right there. That was, like, a correct point that she made there.
Woman or femme with a hyper-dominant partner. And when you look at it, it's a harmful, toxic blend of misogyny and racism to perpetuate a culture of self-loathing and harmful stereotypes. These retroactive reprobates apply misogyny and racism to master, leading into another strange fetish, gooning, derived from the mental state in masturbation where a person becomes mentally blank and is overcome with pleasure, leading to a trance-like state and more susceptible to exposure to other forms of kinks. According to their dedicated and regularly updated subreddit, this is designed as a gateway to kink for those who believe that their sexual prospects are impossible.
Sissy is really purely a sexual thing. That's been my experience. Because it is a term for someone being feminine, but also being, like, pathetic and powerless. So I guess it's kind of beyond me why someone would claim that unless it was for, like, a...
Hey guys, I am currently 3 subscribers away from 4.39. Well, I'm currently 3 subscribers away from 4.4K. We're at 4.397K. So if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Is remote booting his PlayStation? No. He just remotely cut it on, which means he's probably coming back soon. That's not what gooning is. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get into it.
Humiliation kink.
Yeah, he was explaining where the title comes from.
The thing I'm reaching for is that it might also be liberating for them in a way, when it is not in this, like, super problematic context, to step out of the gender that's expected of you, right? Like, to get a break from that almost. And I think that's what people maybe look for in, like, submission in general. It's just, like, a break from their normal selves. They want to be feminine because part of them wants to be powerless, and they just don't see femininity as powerful.
Now I'd be remiss to even utter the word gooning without referring to the giggly goon clown who hosted a hub for fetishes. Most applicable in this case, the Black New World Order. No, this is not a band fetish, where folks who subscribe to this kink deify blackness.
Wait, how many followers does this person have?
Gooning, without referring to the giggly goon clown, who hosted a hub for fetishes.
Hold up. I'm actually gonna look at this on my phone. Okay. That page is deleted. It's not on the same app, so we're fine.
Most applicable in this case, the Black New World Order. No, this is not a band fetish, where folks who subscribe to this kink deify blackness, specifically black men, by denigrating white people. Typically self-declared cis white mandem who acknowledge this myth that black men are pinnacles of masculinity, and by masculinity, I really mean a travesty of manhood insofar as simply being puissant, always open for business, and built like the Secretariat. And in this acknowledgement, coming to the realization that they ought not even insult the masculine race by claiming to be a part of it as a white man and just transition into a woman so that the human race is devoid of cis white fandom.
It's this discussion of eradicating the white race by denying white men, denying cis white men, the privilege of coitus, only be breeding.
Oh yeah.
What? Wait, I'm sorry, let me slow this down a little bit.
Discussion of eradicating the white race by denying white men, denying cis white men, the privilege of coitus, only be breeding.
Oh yeah.
Which is an awful word with awful connotations.
Holy shit, Sundays, you weren't lying. He does, like, I thought you meant he played up the accent like, oh, it isn't as strong as, like, it isn't as strong as he puts it off as, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. He's just putting on an accent. Jesus fucking Christ. Dude, what the shit? Okay, irrelevant. Why? That is so weird. He's just putting on that accent. Like, just explicitly. Yeah? Like, it may be slightly natural, it might be, like, a slight code switch, but, like, that is clearly not how he usually fucking talks, especially if he still, if he still lives in the US, since he did say he went to college in Iowa, if he still lives in the fucking US, there is no fucking shot in the world that that's how he actually fucking speaks normally. Jesus. Okay, continuing on.
Normally for animals, only being black bread.
Not talking pumpernickel.
We're not talking pumpernickel.
These are trans women.
It's like normally anime profile pic on Twitter.
Oh dear, that could be us.
Wait.
It's like normally anime profile pic on Twitter.
Oh dear, that could be us. You know the galaxy brain meme? This is what I'm picturing. Level 1 take. White genocide is not gonna happen. It's not real. Level 2 take. White genocide is real. Level 3 take. Just absolutely exploding out of my head. White genocide is real and it's good and I'm horny for it. I want to know how you're hanging out in these spaces that take the idea of white genocide or great replacement remotely seriously, but then also managing to like be into it. Men like weakening themselves by becoming more feminine, but also like by submitting
I'm gonna have to
to
DM Sundays.
black men is such a weird situation that again like clearly reveals a lot about how they think about the world. Could a part of it be like an unprocessed white guilt? I wonder if this thing is maybe a way to like unclaim whiteness and all like the historical horrors that have come along with that.
Ooh, you cooking. Ooh, that's dark. So white genocide, almost like in the palingenic, like rebirth. This is just so bred to palingenic rebirth of whiteness in this like almost inverted Nazism, where like let's enjoy killing off ourselves because what we did was so wrong. There's no way about.
Again, this is like conflating like this isn't even like your rhetoric is just messy and you're doing this. This is just explicitly conflating trans people and like people who do this as a fetish now. That's not even like, this isn't even clean as it can be. This is just direct conflation here. He's saying white trans women like Black New World Order stuff. Yeah, this is a weird line of inquiry to go down. I don't know why the fuck he is doing this now, rhetoric-wise, because this is just a direct conflation. This is devastating to watch because of them saying the same word. Yeah, like they keep saying it over and over and over and over and over again. Hey, guy. Look. Woo! Go to sleep! Hey, how about you go to sleep? Hey, how about you go to sleep? Come on. I got you. I'm not even gonna hurt you. Civilian. I don't hurt civilians. I just need your key. I just need your safe code. What does palingenic means? Palingenic means rebirth, but on like a biblical scale. It's like fucking fire and brimstone and fucking ash, and then like through those ashes we will rise, like a phoenix from the asses, as they used to say on like my favorite podcast from when I was in middle school. A phoenix from the asses, not ashes, asses, because it's ass. But yeah, no, that's like B and WO stuff. That's what he means.
So let's just surrender to black folks.
And of course it doesn't come from like a genuine anti-racism, right? It's not actually about any of this stuff is bad or like we should do anything about it for real. The same way that forced feminization could be like a way of escaping the power of masculinity and like the possible like psychic guilt that comes with that.
Twitter and 4chan as a source, and in my yeah, this is mostly Twitter and 4chan. Like this is just a kink of like weirdo shut-in people on Twitter and 4chan. And like I said earlier, the fact that they made an entire video on this, which like it's an important phenomena, but this is an hour-long video. The fact that they made an hour-long video on this very tiny phenomena is fucking weird, and they should not have focused on this as heavily as they have. Palingenetic, by the way, yeah. Palingenetic.
I wonder if this like white genocide kink could be like escaping the uncomfortable truth of like what whiteness is.
I told you this was gonna get dark. No pun intended. The giggly going clown is as sad as it is projectile vomit inducing. And it serves as an avatar for what is the racial forced feminization fetish. Where an alternative take on this would be that
okay,
these cis white men.
Before we go into this, I fucking love Dishonored's interior design, dude. Like right quick, if I fucking take down ForeignMan's video, dude, holy shit. Like, I would love to live in an apartment like this. Like, imagine this. You walk in, and this is like a tiny apartment. Well, it's not tiny, but it's like, it doesn't have many rooms, but you walk in, and you have this beautiful fucking foyer, which Hypatia fucking makes it not beautiful because she's a girl boss. But, then you get fucking, like, a wall where you can go grow plants, and then you fucking walk through this nice hallway. And then you get the bathroom right here. Very nice metal crate. Nothing in here. It's a nice bathroom where it's like the sink space is nice. You have a fucking full-ass tub. Maybe install a shower stall, and then you have the toilet right there. Dude, and then you walk out. Wait, is there no... Okay. The bathroom doesn't have a door, which is weird. I would put a door there. But outside of that, then you walk in, and then boom. Dude. Boom. It's like a feng shui masterpiece, dude. Like, you have a rug right here, fucking restricting the space. Even though this is, like, kind of bad feng shui, because door, they have the rug there to kind of restrict the space a little bit, channel the energy a little bit. Then you come by, you have the door right here. Maybe the apartment isn't designed feng shui-like, but the interior design definitely is. You walk in, and then you have, like, this nice separate little space, and then you have the bed here. Dude. It's so nice. It's so nice. Anyways, off of that. An Italian bathroom? That's called an Italian bathroom? Do Italians not have fucking doors on their bathrooms, or is that just what it's called? ADHD tangent? Yeah. He had one earlier, but ForeignMan's ADHD tangent actually made me, like, it actually pissed me off.
Are so self-loathing of their station in life, being one of privilege and unreachable patriarchal
masculinity and females,
that they feel
to express
the weight
themselves out of femininity should be done by support, inspiration not by force manipulation.
Of whiteness. Yeah. Let's get charitable for a second. Let's get nuanced. The burden. They feel the burden of their ancestors, and they desperately want to start over again in some palingenic rebirth of whiteness, if rebirth at all. This community literally fetishizes their demise, giving the guise of a progressive politique, but truly being just as if not more racist than their overt counterparts, the conservatives. Not to say that these are mutually exclusive. A lot of the people that actually consume a lot of this content are conservatives on the low.
True.
Folks in progressive communities may be misguided
Actually, I'd
in
say that's
consuming
probably
this
the
content,
majority.
which is inherently putting blackness down by holding it too high.
A lot of these people are genuinely racist. There are probably some people who kind of get off on it and maybe do have left-leaning politics or whatever, but like I'm
What? What the fuck just happened? I don't know if you saw the first. I'm sorry. What? Dog, what the fuck? Because I fucking like I went off the, but then he stabbed me. What the fuck? Okay. Phila, I don't know if you saw this the first time, but the first result I got for that clown account was a Turkey Tom vid. Seriously, really? That's weird. Dude, what the shit? I don't even know how the fuck I died there. That was weird.
I'm gonna be real, even
Okay.
The conservatives. Not to say that these are mutually exclusive. A lot of the people that actually consume a lot of this content are conservatives on the low. Folks in progressive communities may be misguided in consuming this content, which is inherently putting blackness down by holding it too high.
a lot of these people are genuinely racist. There are probably some people who kind of get off on it and maybe do have left-leaning politics or whatever, but like I'm going to be real, even those people are probably racist, right? The very context of bull, right? Which is the term that you would use to describe a man who is entering into a relationship in order to pleasure the wife, right? That is the bull, right? Same term that we used for black men when we were breeding slaves, right?
Bro,
same exact term. And a lot of this
really
does
fucked.
map very neatly onto that, right? And my experience with people who project race play onto me non-consensually, if I tell them that I don't want it, that is often when they get racist.
By rendering me omnipotent, you strip me of my humanity. By making me God, you deny me human. The biggest irony of this situation is the political affiliation of the participants.
By fetishizing me, you deny my
Logic would have you assume that it's the BLM marching, all cops bastards chanting, self-serving neoliberals that engage the most with this cake.
No!
But their community
Wait,
is full of
no! That was clearly bait! That was obvious bait! Foreign! You're smarter than that. That was the most clear bait I've ever seen.
Subtlety.
Bait used to be believable, dude.
Subtlety.
Go back to 412. Why do you keep going to 430? Go to 412.
Subtlety.
Okay.
That is full of sage.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to do that.
The biggest irony of this situation is the political affiliation of the participants. Logic would have you assume that it's the BLM marching, all cops bastards chanting.
This is clearly bait. Okay, so it has the fucking black, I believe those are spades. I don't know anything about cards and their houses. But like spades, which is the fucking BNWO, it's the fetish shit that they're into. That's their like sign for themselves. 22-year-old white boy, spelled that way. Hashtag BNWO supporter. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Hashtag I'm sorry for being white. That isn't a fetish account. That is a racist bait account. This person isn't a fucking liberal. Use your brain. Good night, Akira. Thank you for joining stream. Like, I'm black, but that's not what they think of when they think of blackness. Yeah. Like, this is clearly bait. This is obviously fucking bait. This person is not liberal in any fucking way.
Serving neoliberals that engage the most with this cake. But their community is full of centrists and right-wing conservatives. We all know that they're kinky libs, but there are at least some subtlety. When hearing about the subject of this video, a black male colleague reached out to impart some of his knowledge.
So how'd you get involved with the kink community?
I had no idea this kink existed before I received a few very graphic emails about what the sender wanted me to do to them.
Tell me how the dynamic works.
Well, it's wild. First you receive a DM or two, maybe a passing comment on a pig. But the problems don't start unless
Okay, also it's kind of clear to me that this like this is very clearly a guy reading off a script. It's probably from a real story, but like just the way the cadence has gone, that's someone reading off a script. They probably had it written up beforehand. Foreign Man with a Foreign Land has 118,000 subscribers. He probably has access to people who can make videos like that. I mean, who do you make videos like that?
Engage with them.
Evil Kermit?
In that
I actually
case,
like that design choice.
Be down to clown or be prepared to block them and fast.
Is that bad?
Bruh, okay, so I did a bit of SW in college. You know, gotta pay that tuition somehow. And it actually started with one of these messages. I hop on, read the message, some nonsense about what he wants to do to me and generosity. Now, man's been eating nothing but apples and ramen for 6 months. That generosity piqued my interest, so I responded, and at first it was flattering. I felt powerful, sexy, coveted, but then the language starts to slip. It began with a little self-degradation like, I'll never be as strong, sexy as you know. Then the reasons why he felt he couldn't meet the standards he set for himself. It wasn't just like a submissive kink, it was praise of my form. The same on the got stopped and frisked the week before. The same body that gets asked, are you on the football team, by every doe-eyed darling who wants to ride on the wild side.
What'd you do?
I got paid. I mean, I don't like it. It makes me feel like an animal. Like my strength and stature are all I have to offer. It pissed me off whenever I let it slip that I was a graduate student and clients were shocked I could use multiple syllable phrases.
I thought they'd be ever praising, given the penchant for idealizing the black form.
Yeah, well, that's my form, not my mind. And whenever has a conservative cared about a black man's mind?
Wait, so it's conservatives that hired you?
Oh yeah, I mean, I had a liberal client or two, but the majority, like over 90%, were old dudes with MAGA stickers and no trend t-shirts.
What?
The type of guys that voted for Trump twice. I think it's the lack of experience that makes the kink more appealing, you know? Like the only reference they have for black people is what they see on TV. And what's on TV that looks like me? Hyper-violent guys that voted for Trump twice. I think it's the lack of experience
like I was
that
saying,
makes
most
the
of these
kink
guys
more
are fucking
appealing, you know?
conservatives.
Like the only reference they have for black people is what they see on TV.
This is definitely a script. I think it's a script, but I also think it's probably from someone that Foreign actually talked to. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he's lying about actually talking to this person, but he very clearly did script this out, or at least the person he's talking to did script this out before talking to him. So yeah. Damn, my comment got deleted? Where? I didn't delete any comments. Then there's nothing in chat indicating that a comment got deleted, as it usually would, so I haven't a clue what you're talking about. Lol got rolled by tech issues? Yeah! I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it was just like, nope, fuck you. Wattpad ass descriptions? Yeah, it's probably a real story.
And what's on TV that looks like me? Hyper-violence and sexuality. So I'm paid to be the sex machine, the black man's revenge, feeding into the stereotypes of insatiable sexual appetites and desires.
Story? It's just like one of those situations
it had its perks though.
How so?
Well, it paid well, and making a Republican shout Black Lives Matter was kind of funny.
Imagine receiving the message, I want you to be my daddy. Or some variation of that sentence.
The thing that gets me about
you firmly but politely turn down the proposition. Only for them to become insistent. And I mean really insistent. So you block them and move on with your day. Later, you recount the story to your friends expecting a shocked reaction, and for the most part you do, but you notice that there's one face who isn't laughing. That night, you get a message saying, yeah bro, it's weird out there. You don't know the half of it. Unfortunately, the internet helps to facilitate these ideas. As users congregate in similar groups, subcultures are created over the shared interests. Sexual orientation doesn't matter. Our gender identity, well, let's just say some of these incels enjoy cosplaying as trans and call themselves goofy gooners, which is transphobic, misogynist, and always racist as hell. Let's not forget that. It ought be no surprise that inceldom is a neighboring country to communities such as the racialized forced feminization fetish, PNWO, and places that not even
Wait.
is dedicated. You don't know the half of it. Unfortunately, the internet helps to facilitate these ideas. As users congregate in similar groups, subcultures are created over the shared interests. Sexual orientation doesn't matter. And with gender identity, well, let's just say some of these incels enjoy cosplaying as trans and call themselves goofy gooners, which is transphobic, misogynist, and always racist as hell. Let's not forget that.
I think
it ought be no surprise.
I think he was mostly calling it transphobic because, like, some of the people who do that fucking, like, I guess, dress up in what they would consider, like, an approximation of trans people. Like, it's important to remember that a lot of these people who do this, as he stated earlier, are conservatives, and a lot of conservatives do have, like, some sexual kinks that they don't really want to talk about, and part of that is fetishization of trans people. So, like, yeah, some of them might just be doing it because they like cross-dressing, but some of them also might be doing it because they like to, like, put themselves in the mind of fucking trans people and whatever they think, what they think that is, not actually what it is. And, like, they get off on that idea. Like, people are weird. Okay, so occasional kinks overlap with kinks that are racist, and that makes all kinks racist? No, that's not what he's saying at all. That's not what he's saying at all. This is like, he's talking with Cat Black. Cat Black is pretty... She got pretty notable for talking about kink shit, and, like, being very pro-kink. Like, that's not what he's saying at all. He's mostly talking about this and its connection with, like, fucking kink shit. Well, these specific kinks and their connection with racism. So, no, it's not fully that. The video's almost over. I'm gonna explain it, like, at the very end, with my thoughts on it, so...
Inceldom is a neighboring country to communities such as the racialized forced feminization fetish, PNWO, and places that not even incognito on Chrome can save your soul from. These are the homes for human depravity, where hope of humanity goes to die. But simultaneously, a parade of self-exploration for folks that are denied maps to their souls by society. I do not begrudge the Guna, the BBC addict, or the bleeding heart liberal that hurls racial epithets when I don't show up in the way that they want me to. I lay blame squarely at these institutions that this channel is dedicated to dismantling. Much like my last video, Incels, the next video may start with the curious case of curry cells. As we went into the world...
Okay. So that's the end of that. That was interesting. Foreign said a lot of shit in it. And I think it's high time for me to talk about that. So I got really angry at him towards the beginning of the video due to the way he was talking about HIV and AIDS. I do think that is probably going to maintain as my biggest criticism of this video. But off of that, if I'm being honest, a lot of the points that he was talking about in this video, I'm trying to see if other people are live. So if you hear, actually, let me just mute this. If you hear anyone else playing in the background, I was gonna say that's why, because I'm looking for people to raid into. But yeah, no, a lot of what was happening here was a situation where he had decent points, but his rhetoric was horrible. Like, his rhetoric was bad. Like, it was bad. Mixing up lines. I will get to issues when it comes to trans issues. But mixing up lines of inquiry. He made very heavy conflations between people who are into, like, this kind of hypno fucking force femme porn and trans people. He made a lot of aspersions that combine these two groups together when they shouldn't be combined together. These are two entirely different groups, and as a matter of fact, the Force Femme group typically is very fetishistic of trans people, which he talked about briefly. Like, he talked about occasionally, but at the same time, despite talking about the fact that this group often predates on the other group by fetishizing trans people, he also largely tied them together, which was weird as shit. His rhetoric was incoherent as fuck, and you can't have incoherent rhetoric when you're talking about politics in general, but especially when you're doing a video essay. Clean your shit the fuck up. You have a chance to clean your shit the fuck up because you aren't live. I even expect live streamers to clean their shit the fuck up before they speak. Yeah? You have to be very calculated when you're talking about this shit. And whenever you are doing a video essay, you have pretty much no excuse to get something as egregiously wrong as he did here. Outside of that, him talking about I guess you could say him talking about the ties between the BNWO fetish, forced feminization, cuckold porn, and white supremacy. Those were all good points. Those were fine points there. I am fine with those points. Those do all have a connection to them. They are rooted in white supremacy. They are inherently rooted in the idea that, like, the black man is like a sexual predator who's coming to fuck the white woman, and he's so much of a sexual predator that he's gonna fucking make you into a woman and make you watch him fuck his fucking wife, and he's gonna make you into a woman and then fuck you. That's what that, like, he did. Those are valid points. Like, a lot of those are tied together. There is an intersection there between a lot of those kinks. They don't always intersect, but, like, if you have cuck porn, you might move on to, like, BNWO. You know? I think the only one there that, like, might be sort of floaty about it is, like, Force Femme, but, like, if you're into BNWO and you're into cuck porn, you're into Force Femme. That's how it goes. Those points are fine. But his rhetoric concerning trans people in this video in relation to this was really fucking weird. And, like, yeah, you can justify it by saying, like, oh, he was talking about, like, white trans people. That's not all that it was. Tying in trans people into the community of people who are into Force Femme shit is really weird. I feel like poppers would have been a better thing to cover because it causes permanent brain damage when abused. Yeah, that's something that could be talked about. Like, all these kinks have very minimal effect on people, and that's the thing about it too. As Tyler Jones is saying, BNWO as a kink is something that I found out about, like, last week, and that's because I found some really weird shit on Twitter that had, like, not a lot of likes on it. Because, like, I was searching up, like, fucking New World Order to see, like, any conspiracy shit I could cover on stream, and then I came across that, and I was like, the fuck? But, like, this is not something... My fucking blanket is slipping. It's uncomfortable. This is not something that is very widely liked and talked about, and for them to focus on this so much as a video puts a lot more power into it than it should have. That's weird. It is something that needs to be talked about, but an hour-long video doesn't work. And I feel like it would have been better if they specified, hey, not a lot of people are into this, but this is something that happens. But they kind of lost that in favor of the narrative. Well, I guess I should just say him. It's Foreign Man who made this. I want to say Strange Man in a Strange Land. Every time I want to say his YouTube channel name, like the fucking Heinlein book, which unironically had a lot of that guy's weird ass fucking kinks in it. Go watch the OSP video on that. It's a fucking great video. But yeah, no, like, lines were crossed, fucking signals were crossed. I mean, that didn't need to be crossed. Overall, though, the video is heavily flawed. The message was there, but I have to end up not liking it because his rhetoric was really messy, and it tied together a lot of things that are related, but should be talked about in a way to where it makes it clear that yes, there is a relation between these two things, but they do not cause each other. Correlation, just because a lot of people who are into this, and just because there is kind of a tie between like forced feminization and trans people, because a lot of people who are into forced fem kinks are like super fetishy of trans people. Just because those two things are true doesn't mean that they are like causal. You know, like correlation doesn't equal causation. That was a big issue with this video. Bringing up 4chan and the giggly goon cat. The giggly burglar alarm. Fucking hell. The giggly goon clown shit was very weird choice for a video on this topic. Yeah. I get tying them together. I get talking about them, but tying them together in the way that he did, I get talking about them, but tying them together in the way that he did is very fucking weird. He shouldn't have done it. Because, like, at the end of the day, yeah, are there trans people? Yes. And are there people who are into forced femme? Yes. And are people who are into forced femme typically very fetishy of, like, trans people? Yes. And are people who are forced femme, can they sometimes have really weird racial beliefs that also causes them to be into like cuck shit, BBC shit, and yeah, that does happen. And are those people sometimes also into the really extreme BNWO shit? Yes. But these are relationships where sometimes they overlap. These do not cause each other, you know? Like, sometimes they overlap, they do not cause each other. It is like this, it is like this. Yeah? Look, it is like this. This is the relationship. They overlap, it is not like this. They are not tied. And his rhetoric made it seem like it was tied, which was really messy, and he shouldn't have done that. Overall, I can't necessarily say that I liked the video. It was on stuff that made sense. But my main advice to Foreign Man would just clean up your fucking rhetoric. Yeah, I didn't watch the initial, which, to be honest, the reason why I'm going so nice on Foreign Man is because, like, I actually never watched the original video that he made on Bosch. Because, like, I did not give enough of a fuck to watch that. It was another Bosch hit piece. Like, fuck it. I did not care. I'm gonna be honest, didn't care enough to watch it. And I never got around to watching it, which is why I'm being so nice and being so... It's a Venn diagram that spirals into smaller and smaller circles, yeah. And the Venn diagram in of itself was already barely overlapping. And I had, like, this much of an oval in the middle. This is, like, not something that I would have covered as intently as he did. And when it gets down to it, I can't, in good faith, recommend this channel. I was going as good faith as possible. Exudingly good faith, just because of, like, I don't have a prior knowledge of what most of his content is like, because I haven't watched it. But, sorry. If this is what his content is typically like, I can't in good faith recommend this channel. In a less transphobic world, I would be more androgynous in public, yeah. So, when it gets down to it, this is, oh, Pillow, that's a good point, selection bias of people being into worse stuff like BNWO, falling into other... Yeah, if you're into bad stuff, you're going to fall into more bad stuff. It's just like conspiracy theories. If you're into bad stuff, you're going to be more likely to fall into worse stuff, because that's how conspiracies work. This is a situation where that happens, you know? So, I guess that's where I'm gonna have to end it. I don't really have much more to say on this. Just clean up your rhetoric. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you know whenever I go live. If you watched this far, you probably already did that, but if not, please do that. I would really appreciate it. It helps me as a small creator. Also, you can join the Discord. Sorry, I have a cough trying to escape. You can join the Discord down below if you want to debate me or talk. We have a community of over 200 people. You can follow me on Twitter, links down below, and you can also email me if you have any inquiries, links down below as well. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace. Gotta hit the stop recording button.